Warning! The following episode of Orsini's Uncensored Mind contains explicit language and adult content. The thoughts and opinions stated on this show are reflective of AJ Orsini, the Steve Dave, and their guest exclusively. Seriously, guys, my dad and uncle say some pretty crazy stuff. If it offends you, go be butthurt somewhere else.
Welcome to Orsini's Uncensored Minds, and now your host, AJ Orsini with Dave.
Hey, how the hell is everybody out there? It's your boy AJ Orsini once again, rolling with my brother from exactly the same exact mother. Of course, I'm here again with the Steve Dave. This is episode 331, and I have to lower my phone because there's an advertisement playing in the background, and I don't want to get the copyright, which has been on my ass. YouTube got me again, bro. YouTube got me again. That sumbitch hit me with an age restriction from one video that is only 8 minutes that I uploaded in 2018, and then another video that was shorter than that I released in like 2020, and I got the notification it's been age restricted. Why? It's been on there for several years. No issues, no flags.
What was the reason?
That's the fucked up part. If I get a copyright based on music or video, it tells me. It goes, it's for audio. It's this person's copyright. Here's the exact markers where the audio is. Do you want to mute it? Do you want to trim it? Do you want to get rid of it? Like, it gives you options. This one just says age restricted. That's it. That's all that it says. And then you say, hey, I want to learn more about why it's age restricted. And it goes, it went against community standards. I don't know what that means. Be specific. And it won't. And that's the fucked up part. So I found out sometimes it's in the description. So I'll change the description around and it'll work. Like, for instance, the video that 2018 video, which was our Black History Month video. Just saying.
Hold us down. Trying to hold us down.
Just saying.
Foot on my neck.
40 acres in a mule. They flagged that one. I changed some of the verbiage in the description and they left it. They said, okay, we're good. But when I put the other clip, which was about my tooth pain from like 2017, they just kept, no matter what I altered, no matter what I changed, age restricted, which is ironic because what they're flagging is the segment. The whole fucking episode, which has the segment in it in its entirety, is on YouTube right now. You guys can go check it out. It's not being flagged at all. The segment, for whatever reason, it just won't do it. And we won't be able to get monetized the way that I want to be monetized if I have an age restriction. So that one video right now is no good. Just like those two episodes, 13 and 18, are not on the YouTube channel. I've uploaded now. We're up to 33. But it's missing 2 episodes, 13 and 18. I'm still trying to figure out what it is. It has to be content related, but I don't know. I have to go through the fucking deal. What are you going to say? Oh, you're saying it's all right. Yeah.
I didn't fucking say anything. I'm listening to you go off, dude.
So next week, on Tuesday, next week, when we sit down to record, we'll talk about this right at the beginning. We are going live. We're doing our Survivor Series convo talk, whatever where I'm calling it now these days. We're talking about Survivor Series 2025. I don't know. Before I continue, did you get a chance to see Raw yesterday?
Raw? No, I did not. No.
Okay, you've got time, but Raw pretty much began shaping up Survivor Series in a tremendous way last night at the Garden. And so we're going to be doing that as far as the Survivor Series 2025, I have a little game I'd like to play. We've already played it once, me and you, Dave, but we didn't play it on our show. Do you remember when we did the untitled wrestling cool super show thing, Bob? And we did the remember it was like 8 of us on the podcast, and we were doing all these. Everybody was taking turns hosting and all that other stuff. You remember the Stephen
Yes.
James thing? Okay.
Yes.
So you remember Stephen James's game, which was the all-time list fantasy booking, whatever.
Yes.
Create your team.
Yes.
Well, I felt like that vibe perfectly fits Survivor Series. Perfectly fits. So what I want to do is not only do I want to go over the card for Survivor Series, which is going to be a fun time. I want us and our guests to do the same game, but Survivor Series. We're going to take our options will be from the current roster, Raw, SmackDown, and NXT will be available. And we're all going to take our turns drafting and picking our own Survivor Series 5-on-5 elimination tag teams. I want to do that. I'll have it set up the same exact way that James did.
I was gonna say you're gonna do
So
like a draft format.
Yeah,
like
I'm gonna put a listing so everyone is aware of what names are available, and then we'll have it formatted on the screen for the viewers to see live and in real time as we make our picks. And then by the end of it, hopefully we'll have some pretty badass Survivor Series teams. We will be doing one for the men. We will be doing one for the women, so that it doesn't drag. We'll be rotating back and forth between men and women, so that by the end of it, we have our teams. We won't have to go back and do one and then do a whole another one all over again. It'll just be killing time. So we'll do it all at the same time, and we'll be keeping track on screen. So we'll be doing our own fantasy booking 5-on-5 team selections and drafts, and we'll be talking Survivors 2025, of course, to live chat. And just really quickly, I want to preface this by saying that this is all tentative. But once upon a time, when I first started streaming, I had a phone option for people to call in. That might be on the table in a week. Give me a few more days because I have access to it. I'm just trying to figure out how that's going to work with StreamYard, because the last time I did that, I did it through a different feed system. I don't know how that's going to work on StreamYard, so I'm still playing with that. But that also might be something that could be an option. So you guys are going to be able to chime in on your Survivor Series thoughts as well. So we got a lot going on next week. Not to mention, next week is actual Thanksgiving, but we will not be celebrating. We as a family will not be celebrating Thanksgiving next weekend. We're doing our get together this weekend. So we have to. So we here at the House of O are trying to scramble real quick and make sure we have all our P's and Q's and I's dotted and T's crossed. I got to get some homework done. Alex has some quizzes coming up before they're all of our jobs and schools are doing everything this week so that we don't have to do shit next week. But we're getting together this weekend, so we're trying to make sure everything gets done.
Sorry, it double times for you, but all the greater when you get to the end of it. So
because at the end of it will be ham, and I will go ham. I will go ham on the ham. So we have a lot that we need to get to here on the show, but again, there's one thing that came out of Monday Night Raw that I would like to address here on the show. I didn't put this on the rundown because it was something that I decided today that I was going to address, and this will only take 2 seconds out of everybody's time. I'm going to put it on the ticket here. NYC geography for just 1 goddamn second. I'd like to clarify something for some people. Okay, we had some visitors last night over at Madison Square Garden, and all the merrier. I love when people come and visit. I don't like when they stay, but I like when they visit. You come in, drop your money, and get right the fuck on out, and then we're straight. I'm still waiting for all the people that said they would leave if Mamdani got voted in. He got voted in, and I'm still not seeing any apartment vacancies. What's going on? Put your money where your mouth is. But some real quick geography, because there was some confusion that I thought was hilarious. So we have 2 major arenas in New York. We have Madison Square Garden. We have Barclay. Barclay is actually not too far from where I live here in Brooklyn. And then, of course, the world's most famous arena, the Garden, which, by the way, hasn't been all that famous in a very long time. But I'm not going to shit on my own building. I love that building. I've seen many a wrestling show in that building. I almost went last night. I was this close. And then I decided not to. And then I find out Joe Pombo went. And I said, "Well, you son of a bitch." And he took his kids with him to go see Madison Square Garden. He took his whole family, his wife, his kids. What a selfish prick. What a selfish prick. You're not going to abandon your family to come chill with your boy. I would abandon my family to go chill with you at the Garden. I guess we're on different wavelengths when it comes to friendship. I think that's what that is, right? It's one of those things where he's my best friend, but I'm not his best friend. Kind of thing right there. It is what it is. It makes it.
He didn't claim you, dude. He didn't
claim you. No. It's like when you tell somebody he's my best friend. Well, did anybody tell him that you're the best friend? So really quickly, I want to make some clarifications. Okay, New York City is not any more different than any other metropolitan city. I've been to pretty much all of them. Okay, and they all run in a very similar fashion. You have your major city, like for instance, like a Boston or a Miami or an Orlando or an LA or a Dallas. And within that city are different areas, right? Different governing spots. South Central LA is a little different from Beverly Hills or Malibu area or whatever the fuck. New York City is divided into 5 boroughs. Okay? Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island. Of the 5 boroughs, and very few people know this, not all 5 boroughs are New York City. Technically speaking, only Manhattan is New York City. That's why when you put in the GPS or addresses or whatever, if you put my address and then put New York, it's going to send you somewhere to fucking Midtown Manhattan. Don't do that. You have to put Brooklyn. Now, Barclay is in Brooklyn. Madison Square Garden is in Manhattan, which is New York City. So when you tell people I'm going to New York to Madison Square Garden, that makes sense. If you tell someone that you're going to Brooklyn to see Madison Square Garden, that's not where you're headed. You're going to get fucking lost and you're going to get taken for a ride. Now, one more important piece and factor that you need to remember if you come to New York, although there are 5 boroughs that make up one metropolitan area, all 5 boroughs hate each other very, very much. The Bronx does not like Brooklyn. Brooklyn does not like Queens. Queens does not like Brooklyn and the Bronx. It goes all the way around. And the one thing we can all agree on is that everybody hates Staten Island. Nobody goes to fucking Staten Island. Nobody with a brain in their head goes over that goddamn bridge. I live, and you've been to my home, you've seen it. I live not all that far from the bridge that takes you into Staten Island. You can see it from my house. It is part of my job to make sure that the goblins stay on their side of hell. I live by the gateway. We all take shifts. We make sure that the animals that are on that island stay there. We prayed for Sandy to take them all. It only took half. We've been dealing with the problem ever since. Okay? So the Staten Islanders stay way over there. The only thing you go to Staten Island for is to get through it to get to Jersey, stop by the mall because they have a really awesome dine-in movie theater, and they have a pretty cool zoo that's affordable. Other than that, there's no reason to be in Staten Island other than the fact that you just have low self-esteem. All the other boroughs, although we all hate each other, we can all agree that Staten Island is a cancer that we'd like to remove at some point. We're talking to some doctors. We're fielding out some payment options, okay? So those are the boroughs. That's the setup. Now, within those boroughs are more districts, right? If you go to Manhattan, there's the Lower East Side, there's Chinatown, there's Harlem, there's Wall Street District, there's all kinds of weird shit. Same thing in Brooklyn. There's Bushwick, there's Bay Ridge, there's all kinds of, it just splits and splits and splits and splits and splits. It's a convoluted little system. If you don't understand it, don't worry about it. I've lived here most of my life, and I stumble into places I've never even heard before. It happens all the time. So whenever you see WrestleMania or SummerSlam or whatever go to MetLife, and they go, we're heading to the New York, New Jersey area. No, you're heading to New Jersey. That place has nothing to do with New York. You can see New York from the building, but you're not headed to New York. You have to pay a very expensive fee from that building to go either over a bridge or through a tunnel. and then the chaos ensues. So be wary and be careful. I heard there was a lot of there was some people that I knew that were in the building last night that were posting on my Facebook saying there were a lot of confused motherfuckers when they got to Madison Square Garden. They were trying to figure out Long Island Railroad. Outside of the Barclays Center is a Long Island Railroad station, not outside of Madison Square Garden. You have to go into Penn Station, which is right underneath Madison Square Garden, but it's not like across the street like Barclay. Barclay, you have to go across the street down some steps. Madison Square Garden is right underneath. And when you go underneath the Madison Square Garden, it's not just Long Island Railroad. It's Amtrak, it's regular subway. That system also takes you, if you go a few blocks up, to Port Authority, which now includes the buses. Barclay doesn't include all that. So if you're looking for directions, you're trying to figure out where you're going, that's the base stats. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I also want to take this and clip it out, put it on YouTube, because I wanted to make it extremely fucking clear what's happening here. Stop getting confused, and you're just gonna get lost. Don't worry about it. I almost got lost in Los Angeles for a very similar reason. You know, especially when you're being chased or followed around by hobos, it really pushes the urgency on where you're trying to go and what you're trying to be. So I got that all out of my chest right here. Let's turn that off.
Better?
Yeah, I've been sitting on that one all fucking day.
Your ass this weekend, huh?
Been sitting on that one all goddamn day. Anyway,
Fair enough.
Let's get past that. Let's talk about what we're going to do on the show.
Hey, what's going to be on the show today?
What's going to be on the show today is going to be, last year, around this time, my bro and I sat here and got balls deep into some conversation about Thanksgiving eats and Thanksgiving foods, and we had a blast. So I figure, let's do something Thanksgiving again. And I came up with this list. I found an article that talked about some of America's greatest Thanksgiving traditions. What I find interesting about this article is it wasn't written by an American. This is the Europeans' vision of what we do for Thanksgiving. Remember, this is an American holiday. So this is the third party thought process, and when they see us behave on Thanksgiving. So we're going to yay or nay. Do you and I, Dave, and our family, do we partake in the tradition, or do we not partake in the decision? We'll talk about that. We're also going down the road. Only 2 appearances left for the Time Is Now tournament and the Time Is Now retirement tour for John Cena. He's got two appearances left. One for Survivor Series, one for Saturday night's main event. His match for Survivor Series was set last night. We'll talk about that as well. But we're going to do the return of the What If segment. And of course, had to talk about the man himself, John Cena, because what if John Cena had not been caught rapping on the back of that bus during that one European tour that he was on, which was supposed to be his last tour in WWE before being released? Obviously, he went on to much greater heights than the bus, but we're going to take a sneak peek at that time period and what would have happened? What would have happened if there was no John Cena and we had all these other talents that were looking for a top spot? How different would WWE have looked? We're also going to dip into more John Cena talk with our next segment as we talk about the actual tournament, the Time Is Now tournament that they've put together to decide who will be John Cena's final opponent in Washington, D.C., Saturday night's main event, December, I believe it's 13th. And we'll give our feelings on that, let you know how the tournament is going, and update you because we had some more matches last night. All of the surprises have been named. We'll talk about that. And in our main event, I'm going to have to do something I did not think that I would ever do. I did not think I would ever have to be put in this position.
Oh, put me through this bullshit? Oh, no, let me stop.
AEW made some news recently with their women and men's blood and guts match. Their variation, of course, of the War Games match that Cody brought to AEW. It is the blood and guts match, but this time, the first time ever, the women took the stage as well for the War Games match. And the controversy is clear. You can feel however you about the match, but was it the right thing to do to include women inside the Blood and Guts match? We will decipher. We will talk. We'll get into it. That's our show that we're going to be doing today. I'm not going to waste anybody else's time. Let's get after it.
If it's time to start the show, let's begin with segment 1.
It's Thanksgiving. It's gobble, 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 turkey.
Day.
Now, here's the thing.
It's not gay to like Turkey Day. I just made that up.
I like turkey. I take the sliced ham and put it in the sandwiches. You know, I like when they do the charcuterie boards and they have the little meat cubes, either it be ham or turkey. For some reason, for Thanksgiving, I'm not the biggest fan of just having a turkey for Thanksgiving. Something about it, I don't know. Not the biggest fan. I feel like you could do better. You know, we grew up
I don't think I've ever been to a Thanksgiving situation where it was only turkey.
That's the thing. I was just going to say, we grew up in a predominantly Spanish home, and it's not that we didn't have turkey, but we also had pernil as an option. We sometimes people would make chicken, like a whole roasted chicken, as an option. I initially got my theme, my fix of my addiction. I'm a big ham guy. I want the ham.
You like them hams?
Thanksgiving. I like them hams. Them ham hocks. I love it. I love me some ham. Some mashed potatoes, a little stuffing. I'll take a veggie. I'm still doing the Operation Be Less Fat. I'll take a veggie. But that's usually kind of where I head with the actual meals.
Not on Thanksgiving. No, fuck that.
You don't want veggies on Thanksgiving?
No, not on Thanksgiving. Stop that. Fuck up my face.
So I want you to make the meat and then the juice on the pan. I want you to just go ahead and just pour that all over my plate. I want Thanksgiving soup. That's yes. I want to fish my food out of the mysterious Thanksgiving fluid. That's what I want to do. So we went over the eats last time. We had our discussion, some of the top 10 Thanksgiving meals. But this year, I thought it would be interesting to divulge more into the traditions of things, because myself personally, I can't speak for you. I'm not tremendous on traditions. I'm not huge on repetitive behavior as such. But some of these traditions, when I was looking it over, I said, God damn it, I think I do this too. But then there was some where I was like, absolutely not. I don't partake in this one at fuck it all. Was there anything on this list when you took a look at it that kind of stood out, good or bad, where you were just like,
I liked pretty much all of them. My takeaway, to be honest with you, was like, we never fully commit to any of them. That was my takeaway. Because when I read it, I'm like, oh, yeah, we did that. Like, my initial thoughts, like, yeah, we do that. We've done that. Or we do that. We put that on. We try to do that. Yeah. I'm just like, none of this shit lasts. Like, as we'll go through it, I'll point it out. But, like, the only thing that lasts is the first one, because we're all in the same place. And then, like, the other stuff are efforts. And then we just end up putting a movie on or something. Like, it's not this traditional shit that you see on here. Which, mind you, me personally, let me make sure.
Yes.
I'm
don't represent yourself in a poor manner. Yes.
Yeah. I personally am a person that like traditional shit. Okay. Like, I like doing traditions. Like, I like doing the same thing every fucking time. But our family cannot fucking commit to it. They just can't do it. They got to change something. They got to do something different, or either they want to change it because they want to do something different, or they don't. The other ones don't give a fuck about it. It's like, sure, whatever. Like, we could do that, okay, right? But there's no one, like, we don't have anyone in our family that's like, oh, we have to do this. Like, this is the thing I look forward to every year. We don't have that. We don't have that. So I try to create that in my home.
Right.
But my
It happens.
my wife is the same way. It's like she don't give a, you know what I mean? Like she wants to
Yeah.
spend time, but like as far as like she entertains me, but as far as like being the one to go, oh, we like have to do this one thing on this day. She's like, I just want you here. Like that's it. Like I don't give a fuck about it. I'm like, come on, dude. Like so, like for instance, my tradition that I've been trying to keep, but we're always somewhere else, so it doesn't really work out that way. Is I like to watch The Nightmare Before Christmas on Thanksgiving.
Oh, on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
So it's a Halloween movie that celebrates Christmas, but you're watching it on Thanksgiving.
It's not a holiday movie. I mean, it's not a Halloween movie to me. To me, it's a Christmas movie, and it brings in Christmas on Thanksgiving Day. That's how I look at it.
That's the official start for you.
That's the start for me. It's the end of Halloween to me, and it's because Halloween. Also after we eat is when we would decorate the tree for Christmas for the rest of the year. That's how I like to do. That's like my traditional shit.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. But you said
I know there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't. It's the.
It doesn't execute the way.
To me, I have to neuter myself because if I get too excited, I'm gonna get let down. Like no one's urgent, and that's my comment to this whole point of answering your question is no one has that same urgency or like the need for this to happen in this way. So I have to like pull myself back or I will end up getting annoyed by it because it's just like, fuck, like I want to do this, but I'm outnumbered. So I just go with the flow. Like that's pretty much it.
So my wife experiences the same thing. So like she's crazy into traditions too, but I think sometimes she gets unmotivated because I don't give a fuck.
I get it. I respect it. I get it.
I don't give a shit. So yeah, so a lot of it, like for instance, for her, very close to what your thought is, she separates the holiday, but like for instance, so Thanksgiving takes place, and then immediately after Thanksgiving, she does the tree, and then when she does the tree, she listens to the Mariah Carey Christmas album.
Respect.
And then she follows it with the New Kids on the Block Christmas album.
Okay.
Because those are the two they played when she was a kid. So we play that as well. And then when we run out of that, if we're still doing Christmassy things, then I just put like a mix where it's like different artists that sing basically the same fucking songs over and over and over and over and over again.
That's you goddamn right. It's fucking Christmas.
And it's the same thing with Halloween. She was bummed this year for Halloween. This was the first year we didn't dress up with Alex because Alex is his own man now and he's got his own costume. And Thanksgiving is like the one time of the year where she's like very adamant about cooking something.
Fair enough.
If Thanksgiving is on Thursday, Wednesday she doesn't want to do shit. Friday she doesn't want to do shit. But Thursday is the day. I think that's the most wife she feels is on Thanksgiving, and she just does whatever she's gonna do. So
which obviously people don't know, but like that's a big deal for your wife to want to do that because she's not that she can't cook, she can cook. Yeah. It's just like it's not something she prefers to do. Yeah. So get the urge to do it is kind of a big deal for her.
Yeah, that's like the one time of the year she like every other time she doesn't feel like it, or she does it because she knows that she has to, and then she'll do it. That's the one time where she's like excited to do it. That's like the one time.
I can say that's very similar to my wife as well. I think my wife prefers to cook a little more than
your wife right now is jacked.
Yours does, but she's the same way. Like out of a whole week, if she didn't have to feed a family, she would cook maybe one day out of that week. But she does like to cook though.
She seems to come off very excited that she's not pregnant for this one.
Oh, dude.
She's just like,
yeah, that's a whole thing. She's extremely happy. She ain't got to do that. She's done. She served her nickel. She's done. So she's looking forward like, a whole new life is in front of her. So she is gas to do this shit. So
let's pull up this list. I'm going to actually share it so people will see it, will follow along with us here. But I will pull it right here. It is from right here, the Get Grand European Travel here. So this is the holiday traditions in the States for Thanksgiving. And one of the first things they have on this list is holiday travel to see family and friends. And I believe this is where you said, yeah, I mean,
this is our minimum.
We at least do this.
This is the bare minimum. And to be honest with you, that travel part is fucking subjective because there's certain people that don't really be doing much moving around. So that's fine. It is what it is. But ironically, it's the ones without children. But it's fine. It's fine.
For now.
Yeah.
For now. Because that becomes more difficult over time. So this is the holiday travel to see family and friends. Of the list that we're going to see, I think this might be like if we were to do a vote, if we were to do a poll, put all these onto a list, I think this one would probably have the highest percentage of, maybe not 100%, but the highest percentage of at least they do this, right? At least they go to the homes.
I mean, know.
In comparison to the rest of the things on this list, I'm not sure.
I'm actually going to think about that as we slide through them.
Okay.
I don't know.
You don't think a lot of people are traveling to see family?
I know. I just know. Not that I know, but I hear more people say they're not fucking traveling than to hear people that they are. I know a lot of people do it. I'm just saying. I also know a lot of people who go out of their way to not do it.
So who go out of their way not to.
So on this list, because I just glanced at it again really quick, you might be correct, but I don't think. I think there are a lot more people who refuse to do that.
Okay, well, the next one on the list is watch a Thanksgiving Day parade. Now, I will admit, I think this was a thing when we were kids. I have some vague memories of watching this when I was a kid.
Yes.
I don't remember the last time I ever watched the parade.
This is one of the ones that I say like we just can't fucking commit to. Like this shit will be on for like 5 minutes, and either nobody's paying attention, which is not terrible because
I do have a memory of this being on in the background.
It is background stuff, especially if you're the place that people are traveling to. Mm-hmm. So if you're hosting, this is usually on as background music because no one should be really kind of sitting. Like there's shit to do. You know what I mean? So this is on as a little bit of a distraction to kind of set the mood. But like when everyone's there, like people start getting there early, you start changing it. Like it doesn't sit on too long. I don't think so. At least from my memory.
Mm-hmm. I remember. I have some memory of it being out of the background. I don't ever remember sitting here and go, "Ooh, it's a parade." I don't know. They just walked by. That's what happened. Now, this next one, I had to look it up. I didn't know anything about this. Participate in a turkey trot? It says it's a trend in the USA. Runners, walkers, and their supporters wake up early to participate in a locally run fun called turkey trots. People often dressed in funny costumes and can run or walk everything from a mile till a 10K. The proceeds from the event most often go to charities. Now, I'm not going to poo-poo it.
I feel like I've heard about it. I don't know anyone who's ever done it.
Yeah, I don't think
I think I've heard of it before, but yeah,
I had to YouTube.
I find it weird. I feel like this is the most outside of America thing you can put on this list.
Oh, I almost feel like they're making fun of us for it.
Maybe, as they should, if that's the case. But
they're
I'm just
doing
saying, like,
turkey trots. They're just walking around.
It's just like
goofy.
It's just like any outside looking in, where you're like, oh, they do this thing. Oh, they really like this thing, and they're like, they do turkey trots. Like Americans love turkey trots. You come here, it's like, what the fuck?
They love those birds,
right? It's just information they got that they know that we do, and it's weird, but to them, it's like we do this thing. I don't know. I think I may have heard about it before, but I've never seen it. I've never known a person to participate in it. I don't even think I've ever seen people post that they were doing it on Instagram or anything like that. I've never seen it, but I'm sure people do it.
Oh. Now this next one might be a close. I think this goes hand in hand with the first, but eat a Thanksgiving meal together. I feel like if the percentage is the same, if you visited someone, then you're probably eating with them.
That's not true. That's not true.
They're gonna go visit and not eat.
No, my point is, what if you don't travel or I don't travel, we're in our own homes, we're still eating Thanksgiving dinner together with our immediate
without
family.
the travel.
Correct, with our immediate family. So I think when I said that, I think this is what I was thinking of was be the number one.
So it
because
could be
even if you don't, I mean, as long as you're not alone, hell, you could have a dog and eat Thanksgiving dinner together with somebody.
Come on, don't bring the goddamn dog into this.
So, like,
now by that logic, what you just did was you just made me a very happy person, because that means now I'm getting 2 Thanksgiving dinners. I'm gonna have one this weekend, and then I'm gonna have one the following weekend.
Oh, why do you think I'm fucking gassed? I get my actual traditions this year. I'm fucking excited. We, you know what? We might have to make this the tradition to do it the week before.
And then
so
do
I
it
can have my shit.
Yeah, do the family one, and then everyone just split off and do their own individual.
I'm not gonna lie. When you guys suggested this, I'm like, yo, I like this for now and forever. Because then I can have my traditions now, and we can do what we like to do, and I can put my tree up, and I can play the music, and we can do the parade, and I can watch my fucking. What did we watch? I watched The Nightmare Before Christmas, and then I watched The Grinch afterwards.
Oh my god, you're going into full.
I'm going all in, dude, all in.
We usually go to the movies for Thanksgiving, so that should be interesting. We're gonna go see Zootopia.
Oh, okay.
The second Zootopia is coming out. We're gassed.
Okay,
we're ready to go.
How awesome in it? Like, you guys are cool, but like, fuck you guys. I want my traditions.
We checked in. You guys are still alive.
Yeah,
good to go. We're leaving.
Breathing, we're good.
So now this next one, leave room for dessert. Now,
see, not me.
That's some. I don't know if I'm huge on the dessert for Thanksgiving. I like the dinner.
I will eat the potato, turkey, ham, stuffing until there's no more, and I'm throwing up.
Yeah,
I don't need space for desserts personally.
As my son says all the time, you know what's the best dessert? More of the dinner. It's like
smart man.
Whenever he eats a grilled cheese, we usually give him Pringles because he likes Pringles. He likes chips with his grilled cheese.
Good matchup.
So when he does the grilled cheese and the Pringles, he's like, okay, do you want a snack since you ate your lunch? He goes, yeah, more Pringles. So we're like, Jesus. He'll burn through like half a can in like one sitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
this guy has preferences already. He has preferences on already.
He's a grown man now. But dude, the dessert thing, yeah, same. But I'll tell you what, she's learned to make this. Yeah, but she's learned to make this homemade pumpkin pie, like out of real pumpkin, like not the canned shit. Like we'll just buy a pumpkin, and she does all the stuff to it. It's different.
It's different.
Ice cream or whipped cream, it's different. It's good. It's good. So I like that. But other than that, yeah, turkey until I throw up.
So the next one is give a round of thanks. No.
That's it. Well, maybe not so much for us, but like, that's a tradition. That's the OG tradition.
Yes, I've seen it, and
I've been involved with it.
Yeah, I've been involved. When I visited other people.
Yeah, like you have to say something you're thankful for.
Yeah, that is
awkward.
Awkward as fuck. Like,
it's awkward.
Who the like? Imagine like you have something you're thankful for that's happened to you, but like when everyone's staring at you, you just draw a fucking blank. You're like,
actually, don't do that shit today because I promise you, it's just gonna be a body part that I'm staring at of my wife this year.
Oh yeah. I've been hitting the gym, so I'm probably gonna look at my own body part. To be honest with you,
2 big old titties. That's what I'm thankful for.
I am thankful for breasts.
But like, aren't you happy for your children? Yeah, they're cool, but like,
You know how I got my children?
dumb
I was
titties,
playing with
though.
breasts.
dumb titties, and I'm not even a tit guy, but dumb titties though.
Dumb titties, though. I think that should be
Yeah,
a
this
t-shirt.
one's weird. I think I did this one when I was younger, but
Yeah.
after that, I don't. No one that I know really does this anymore. We should
Jesus
though.
Christ.
Ungrateful bastards.
No, I no. Just because you're not, it's like the social media rule. Just because I didn't post it, don't mean it didn't happen.
Hey, pictures or it didn't happen.
Yeah, just because I didn't address the entire room to flex on my blessings for the year, does
Hey, talk your shit, King. Go
But
off.
that I'm not appreciative. Okay,
Let them know that you're blessed and favored.
That's right. That's right. He's looking down on me.
I may be his favorite, but I ain't trying to rub it in y'all face. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Imagine me. 'Cause I wouldn't be his favorite anymore if I bragged.
See, his
about it.
favorite thing about me is how humble I am.
Yeah, so humble. Shop Black Friday sales. Once upon a time, we did.
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
Life. I worked during Black Friday.
Yeah, I've worked for sure.
That's ass.
But, that's ass. Yeah, I have.
But yeah, I've never had the desire to go do that. Never.
Oh, yeah,
and then when they started to like, get into like online Black Friday sales, oh dude, it was a wrap. It was never gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. We stood online a few times. They used to give us when you. I don't know how everybody else does it, but I know here in New York, Manhattan, when me and Steph lived over there in our younger days, you used to wait online for the store to open, and then they would give you these pieces of paper, doorbusters or Black Friday thing, and like that's how they monitored how many people were coming in and out, stuff like that. We bought many a TV or a toaster or a microwave or whatever from Black Friday, but that was we make a joke. We aged out of that shit because we just couldn't do it anymore. To be honest with you.
Well, to be honest with you, that's the thing. Like real Black Friday, like back in the day, Black Friday, where like they were huge sales where people were literally saving their money to buy the biggest TV they could on Black Friday because they was like 50+% off. Like you were actually getting a crazy deal on Black Friday. They don't do that shit no more, man. It's just normal, like 20% off or some shit, which is fine. Like you can get some cool stuff, but it ain't like back in the day.
And the thought process has been played with because now we have Amazon Day. We've got all these different variations,
and it's not even on Black Friday anymore. They have pre-Black Friday. There's no such thing. It's just
they do one in July.
Sale.
I think. Yeah. It's just taking stuff off. Yep. Volunteer. Now hold your horses. Hold your horses before you start. You know, with the shame, okay?
Soup kitchens, dude.
Yes, yeah. Okay, look. I have not volunteered, but if it makes you feel better, for a long period of time when we were kids, we were the people that the volunteers were helping. I don't know if that counts. I
volunteered to accept the help.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I don't know if it counts. But I feel like it's a communal thing. I feel like if you're volunteering to help the needy, then the needy should be included in that transaction. That's all I'm saying. No, I've never been to a soup kitchen or my local Presbyterian church or whatever the fuck. I've never done any of that stuff. I don't even, if I'm honest, I don't think I know anybody that has. I know that people do. I just might be involved in shitty people circles. But
I actually think I know about that more because of TV shows that have holiday episodes.
Yeah. Then How I Met Your Mother. This is not a How I Met Your Mother episode where Barney was like
Barney was like the man. He did. They saw him there, and he was like the man. Like everyone fucking knew him and loved him. He had a reputation and shit.
Wasn't there like a picture of him holding the ladle?
He was like, "Wait, you help people?" He goes, "Yeah." Why is that so surprising? Because you're the devil.
Yeah. Word. Oh shit. Oh man, this next one. Watch a football game. Now look. Now listen. I love me some American football. But when it comes to traditions, for whatever reason, it always seems to be the Jets, Detroit. The Cowboys usually play a Thanksgiving game. Uh, it's always the same teams playing on Thanksgiving Day. It's so weird.
Yes,
I
it's
don't
called
know.
tradition.
I know, and my
We
team never plays on that tradition.
yeah,
So
because
I
fuck the
usually,
Giants or
I
Jets, whatever the
usually,
fuck you like.
first of all, for the record, since we're recording, I'm a big blue guy, and for
Yeah, I get
anybody,
confused. I know you go against the grain on one of the fucking teams. I forget it's
yeah,
the Mets you like.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah,
one I
yeah,
always get
yeah.
fucking confused.
As
Yeah.
I tell everyone that asks me, my dad convinced me for the Mets, but I wouldn't let the fucker get me twice. I couldn't do the Jets. It was either the Jets or the Mets. I couldn't do both. I can't imagine living my life where those are my teams. I had to pick one. So I picked the Giants. I gave him the
Good
Mets.
pick. It worked out for
So
you in hindsight.
yeah, well, I mean the Yankees have done some incredible shit over the years,
Right,
but
but the Giants were
the
better than
Giants,
the Jets, so
yeah, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. So like people at my job, I wore a Giants hat like yesterday or 2 days ago, on Monday, I think. And one of them was like, "You wear that hat with pride?" I'm like, yeah. What hat are you wearing? Don't tell me it's green because you shouldn't be talking any kind of shit if it's green. No, not a single ounce of shit should come out of your mouth if you're a Jets fan. Well, your team right now was a shit show. Absolutely. But you know what we're not? We're not the Jets.
not the
And
Jets.
that makes me feel good inside. Okay. Now, I feel it the other way, Jet fans. When I tell people that I'm a Met fan, you should see Yankee fan.
Yeah, but Mets have been solid the past few years, though, haven't they?
Yeah, but it's the Yankees.
Hey, I mean,
They think everybody is beneath them. You know.
that's true.
Well, they've got a few banners. They've done
Well,
some
with the
interesting
with
shit.
with the football game, that tradition got taken out of me because again, the shitty thing about that is this tradition lives
Mhm.
and dies on where you're spending your Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So if I was at my friend's place or whatever, definitely when I was at Joe's, he's a Cowboys fan, so he's definitely watching it. But then if you
Right.
go over to certain families' place, if they're not sports people, it's not on the TV, so you got to watch it on the side and be called weird because you're not talking to nobody. So it kind of got killed. But this
Yeah.
year, I think we're gonna do it this year. We're gonna put it on. So I'm pretty
Okay.
excited. Yeah.
I gotta find out what the matchups are. I'll figure that out as we continue on here. But we're on to the last one here,
And
the
this should
last
be
one
number
here,
one, by the way. Every
start
American should be doing
start
that.
the Christmas season. So let's be real. Everybody else
Yes.
Halloween they were already trying, right? Even Mariah Carey's doing videos now,
Mhm.
right? So like they were trying. So every year there's always that group that's already ready for Christmas,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and they're sitting here being restrained by those who are just like, no, we still have Thanksgiving. Grr! But once Thanksgiving is underway,
Yep.
I don't even think people wait for Thanksgiving to be over.
You ready? No. Well, I'm gonna give you the exact time point
Okay.
when
ahead.
Christmas starts. You ready?
I
And this
got you.
will vary from household to household, but it's always at this point. The moment the first plate of food is done,
Oh.
the first plate, it's Christmas. It's Christmas time. That's it. After the first plate, everyone had their first plate. They're going back for seconds. You're now eating on Christmas time.
You're now eating at Christmas time.
That's it. That's it.
Um.
That's it. Yeah. To them. Exactly, dude. I've already been singing the music. I'm the worst because people just like fuck. Here's the music. It's like, dude,
But you
it's
like
the
the music.
greatest time. No, give me Mariah Carey 3 times a day until New Year's. I'm
Wow.
happy. I'm good, dude. I
I
love
don't
that
think
shit.
I don't think her own family agrees with that sentiment, but all right.
Listen,
Yeah.
hey.
So that is the European versions of what they feel is the
Not
American
bad.
traditions.
It could
I
be
think
way
they nailed
worse.
most of it. Yeah, I think they nailed pretty much most of
They
it.
did
I
pretty
still
good.
feel like we're being mocked for the trot. For the
Yeah,
most
the
part,
turkey one is, I think, a troll. But
yeah, I think
even
they
if
nailed. Yeah,
even if they were serious, I think they missed one out of the whole thing. It's a good list.
okay.
It's a
Which
solid
one is that
list.
they missed?
The turkey
Well,
troll.
cause oh yeah, that's what it is. Yes, I looked it up by the way before we end this segment. There are 3 football games taking place on Thanksgiving Day, 1 p.m. on Fox. You can catch the Lions and the Packers. The Lions are, of course, the Lions are home because the Lions play every Thanksgiving at home. The Chiefs are going to be at Chiefs in Dallas at 4:30. Mahomes and the boys take it to Big D, and then in the evening game at 8:20, the Bengals will be against the Baltimore Ravens. That's the Cincinnati Bengals against the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't know. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but that game in the middle looks like it might be the more interesting one. Green
It'll be
Bay's
fun.
all right. Detroit's always a strong team, but yeah. And then the Bengals and the Ravens. Divisional game. They're gonna go crazy. So yeah, that's gonna be your lineup for some Thanksgiving football. So let's go ahead and sneak in to What If.
Let's keep this show going. It's time for segment 2.
What If is a segment that we've had here on the show before, and the basic premise is exactly that. What if we ask ourselves the question because we take a situation where it is famously known to have gone the way that it did, and we ask the question, what if we make one tweak, we make one change, what if that didn't happen exactly the way that it did? How would things have turned out? How would have things been a little bit different? And in the spirit of the retirement tour, I thought it'd be really cool to take a look back 2002. The WWE was in quite possibly, and I can argue this, one of the most vulnerable positions the WWE has ever been in. Because the WWE in 2002 was coming to the tail end of one of its most lucrative and financial success eras of all time, the Attitude Era. It was very quickly coming to an end. We had lost The Rock. We had lost Stone Cold Steve Austin. We were losing characters and and talents left and right. Mick Foley was in retirement. Triple H had the quad injury in 2001. He comes back in 2002, but for the most part, the company is hurting. So they looked to developmental. And luckily for them, they had probably to this day one of the deepest developmental eras of all time. You're talking John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, just the list goes on and on from that very specific era. There were many eras after of some great talent. I know people will look at NXT's Black and Gold brand and might say that might be one of the most
I
successful.
would say that was probably the next generation of that.
Yeah, I also wouldn't characterize them as developmental talents. Not in the same sense that 2002 was. Those guys came off the street.
I would, because in
Well,
hindsight, I think they tried to recreate that, and it never was the same.
fair, fair. But we're
Yeah.
going to take a look at a very specific moment. So I sent you the clip, and they kind of explained it a little bit, and I'll explain it here just really quickly. So John Cena, when he was in OVW, was not John Cena. He was the prototype. That was the name that he had. Just a quick second. My balls are boiling. I'm going to turn this fan on while I talk about this. Cool breeze on the balls. Let's go. Okay. So there was no prototype. My tag says it all right there. I'm not wearing pants. So
I wasn't even worried about that. You got the fan under the desk?
no, I have the fan. It's like angled. It's next
Okay.
to the desk, but it's like it's not it's like I
Fair
don't know.
enough.
It's
That's
just
fine. We're good. We can move on.
He was the prototype in OVW, just based on the look. And now that everyone knows what John Cena looks like, so yeah, he was the prototype. when he got called up to the main roster, was brought on to SmackDown in the infamous ruthless aggression situation. They brought him up by his real name, John Cena. They weren't really big on the whole prototype deal. So when he moved to SmackDown, as Bruce Pritchard called it, he was all right. He was just a wrestler. He needed a personality. He needed something a little different about him, and everything they had tried up until that point hadn't worked. So he was on the cusp. I think the way that he explained it is that there's usually around November, there's a season of cuts that takes place, and they had given him his notice. They said,
For Christmas, around
we're-
Christmas, I think.
yeah, we're going to cut you, just giving you the heads up, and so you can make your plans. Rich Holland. So that you can make your plans. And so he did the European tour. It was probably the last one he was going to do, obviously, before he got released. And he's on the bus. There was a tour bus with all the wrestlers on it, and they're on a bus. And he overhears in the back of the bus, Rikishi and Rey Mysterio were two names that he had dropped, but apparently it was a few people that were back there.
Weird names to drop. Like, I don't.
Well, I mean, we all know that Rey dabbled a little bit in the music stuff. He did a little bit of it in WCW. The Usos and Rikishi dabble. Rikishi's got
That's knowledge I don't have. So, but
yeah,
but I get it. That makes sense.
Rey did a whole music video for WCW. He was out there rapping La Raza, you know what I'm saying, doing some of that cholo rap. And Rikishi, they West Coast, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like they've been down with it. So I'm not totally shocked by that, but I think they were totally shocked when the white boy from West Newbury, Massachusetts went back there and was just like, "Oh, I'd like to give it a try." They're like, "All right, yeah, go ahead, give it a try. Just make sure that you end it with a rhyme. The words got to rhyme. Oh, they rhyme. Oh, okay, that's how freestyling works. Just I can't write anything down. No. Just we have this term in the streets called off the top. Just from the dome. Just go ahead and just another term. Just spit something. There you go. Just let them know what you're doing." He's like, "Well, all right, I'll try." And then he went out there and just fucking mutilated everything. And then
at least that's what the story felt like happened.
The way that I made all that up, by the way. The way that he said it, it was almost like they were like surprised that, because of course.
Sure, I mean, I would be shocked too if John Cena came back there and started rapping.
If the white boy who looked like that all of a sudden just started busting out a freestyle, like a good one, like one that made you like think, and you're like, what the fuck I would feel violated. Like, what the fuck is happening right now? So Stephanie McMahon's on the bus. She overhears, and the conversation after the bus ride goes says, "How do you remember all that?" And then he explained, "It's freestyling. You were going off the top of your head." And I guess she was eating tuna for lunch or whatever. She was like, "Here, rap about this, the tuna, whatever." So he did this rap about tuna and the plane and the trip and everything like that. And she goes, "How would you like to do this on TV?" He was like, yeah. And he did successfully. And now he's a 17-time world champion, a guaranteed Hall of Famer, and one of the greatest of all time. And I know that the WWE puts that moniker out there. It's a marketing thing. It can be argued. I'm just saying, hear me out. It can be argued. We're not here to argue that today, though. We're here to ask the question, what if? What if he hadn't done that? Let's say he got into his own head. You know what? I'm just gonna chill on this bus. I'm not gonna fuck with nobody. And they ended up releasing him. Imagine we went into 2002 without John Cena. Now, mind you, in 2002, it wasn't like he skyrocketed as a top star even after the rap. It was slow build.
He built up. He gained favor slowly.
First, he was rapping to some bullshit beat that they just put together for him, and he was off key. It was so weird.
And wasn't he doing like random ass freestyles and like weird ass places?
He would freestyle all the way to the ring, just saying shit.
Well, no, but didn't he have like segments where like people would be in the back? He would just show up and then like freestyle during the segments and stuff.
It would be backstage. Yeah, it was almost for the beginning part of that Doctor of Thugonomics gimmick. He would only speak in freestyle. It was weird. Like anytime you saw him on TV, it was in the form of a freestyle. Even if he was confronting somebody, like somebody was saying something, he would just like go back at him, but he would go back at him in freestyle, even though the person's not
would
freestyling at
rhyme.
him. Yeah, he would rhyme. So that progressed, and then eventually the theme, which is what changed everything. When they came up with the Doctor of Thugonomics theme, that was it. That was it. Word life. That was it. With a fighting, a spitting. My discipline is unforgiving. Man, that when I heard that shit for the first time, I was like, oh my God. That shit is crazy. Oh, taking over Earth and still kicking in your radius. Word life. Two-faced rappers walk away with 4 shots. The wall rhymer. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then that pushed forward, and the freestyling was becoming so huge that he became huge. People started getting into him, and they started pulling back on the rapping a little bit. He started cutting more promos. He started cutting more promos. Eventually, in 2005, he would go on to finally win his first world title, and that's where the rapping kind of slowed, and the Super Cena shit started. And there goes your mixed reaction. But bad.
No, I was gonna say, and that's the timeline that I played out in my head when I read you sent this over. Like, I thought it was ironic that the way that he started was gonna get him released, and then something happened that gained him favor, and he ended up where he wanted to be to begin with, which is the face wrestler of the company.
He was
and the thing that got him there that people loved, they kind of like they didn't full commit to it. They almost like used it to build him, and then went right back to what he wanted originally to begin with. So I thought
but by the time they got
that
to
they were able to work that.
Yeah. By the time he got to it the second time, the crowd was already kind of
it was over
into him. Yeah,
it was over.
So he had him after that. So his rise, and he's told this story before, and this is absolutely true. He was not the number 1 draft pick from OVW, and I mean that as a euphemism, meaning when they made their call ups, he wasn't exactly. He had a look, but he wasn't exactly the guy. They were like, here's our prized possession, right? This is going to be your next world champion for the foreseeable future. I mean, they had some other really strong names, as I mentioned earlier, that were coming out of those classes, and even names that might not have been, okay, he's going to be a future world champion, but they were all really consistent talents coming out of that developmental system. So that's another part of the what if scenario. We're giving you the rundown on what happened. What happens now if we take it away? What happens if he didn't rap and they did release him? What would WWE have looked like? And I want to share the screen real quick again to show you guys something that I pulled up here. This is the 2002 roster at the time. If I go down, you'll see. Where is he? Right here. John Cena in the hip hop thing. That's him, right? But if you look at this actual roster, A-Train, Al Snow. Oh, what happened here?
Oh no.
How the hell?
Gotcha, dude.
Okay. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not still sharing, am I? No. Okay. So what I'm gonna do really quickly is I'm gonna go in here. I have had that window up for quite a while, and I don't know why that happened. Oh, it's not even in my history. I think he got rid of it. You know what? Fuck it. We'll leave it. Right? Off. We'll do it off the. Fuck it. We're going live. And I'll just pull this up instead here. There we go. And because I just want to show people really quickly what this is all about here. Right? Yeah. So Big Show, building them up, Billy Gunn. We got some heavy hitters. Like if we skip the people that we know for sure, right? Booker T was there at the time, established veteran. He would later on be the guy, Bradshaw, that John would beat for the world title as JBL. But They stumbled upon that, and they stumbled upon it in 2005. That wasn't the plan. It wasn't the idea. He just got over. Lesnar was the plan. Let's be real. Lesnar was the plan. The problem is, and we can't say in hindsight, right? But when Lesnar came out of OVW, they pushed him and they pushed him hard. Youngest WWE champion in history, immediately wins King of the Ring. We've gone over the resume 1,000 times. They pushed him hard. They fed Cena to him at the beginning of Brock Lesnar's push. But what they didn't realize was that by the time it got to about 2003, 2004, about a year or two later, he would eventually leave the company. So that wouldn't have been a win right there. That's not a situation that would have worked for them, Brock Lesnar. I know people lean on that one a lot when we have this conversation. It wouldn't have worked because he left. Obviously not the Brooklyn Brawler, although let's give the man his due. Chris Benoit, 2002, could have been an option. I know people,
I don't know about that.
Again, hindsight, he did some not okay things much later.
No, I'm not even referring to that. I just mean
as him as
and looking at this roster, he was a mid-card guy.
Yeah, at the time he was absolutely.
In this moment, I'm not talking about anything else we know about any of these guys.
Right.
Like I put Eddie Guerrero much higher than Chris Benoit.
Okay, and we're gonna get
so I see Chris as a mid-card. Jericho was up there.
I was gonna say, look at the guy who's next to him. Chris Jericho should be higher on the
top dog.
Yeah,
Jericho toed the line. He toed the line,
yeah.
But I don't know.
In 2002, don't forget he was coming off of the Undisputed World title. He actually was the Undisputed World Champion at the start of 2002. So you're right, because let's think about what happened after that title run. A whole bunch of nothing. He went right back to the mid card.
He was definitely
went right back to the mid card, and then eventually took his break. When he took his break and came back, he would go on to win more world titles. But again, we can't discuss this in hindsight. We have to say in this moment, and it would not have worked. So we move forward here. Where was
Guerrero?
Yeah, Guerrero is probably the next possible option. Again, though,
Edge would be a hindsight.
Hold on, though. In 2002, if you're going to say that Eddie Guerrero is a guy that would have been an option to progress and move forward in place of an open spot, I actually have to disagree with that point. Because in 2002, he was in the same exact spot Chris Benoit was. The only difference is, if you remember, I believe it was 2003, I want to say. That was when the addiction and the eventual termination took place. Around 2002, I want to say, and 2003-ish, because this is when he was also wrestling for Ring of Honor. He had been fired. So I don't know if they would have trusted him. He didn't earn that back until like 2005, when he eventually won the world title over Lesnar. But again, this was all. I don't know if they would have given him that opportunity. Edge is a possibility.
We're talking about making a decision in this year as booking with the people you have right here in front of your face.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Good enough.
Edge is a guy that I think would have been a safe bet, because in 2002,
in this moment though, because he was the tag team guy though.
No, that's the thing. In 2002, he was not. In 2002. That was the breakout singles year. So he was doing the Edge and Christian thing in 99, 98, 99, 2000. And then in 01, they started splitting them, and Edge won the King of the Ring. And then Christian had turned on Edge, and that's how 2001 ended. In 2002, they had moved Edge to SmackDown, kept Christian on Raw. Christian did his thing with Jericho, and Edge went on that crazy run where he was having 5-star matches with Guerrero and Mysterio and Benoit, and he was just fucking smoking. The problem is that he missed a lot of 2003 and 2004 with a devastating neck injury. That's when he had his first, if I'm not mistaken, that's when he had his first fusion, was around that time period. So he, to me, booking wise, he would have made the most sense. However, that injury bug got him, and it got him good. So I don't, as it turns out, he ended up being great. But like we're saying, we're trying to figure out in the moment.
In this moment.
In that time period of 2000,
I say,
2003,
again, just like Jericho,
I would have done
the line.
Yeah, no, but I would have,
the line. But
unlike Jericho with Edge, I would have tried it. Because at the very least, we had youth on our side. We could fix that mistake if it didn't work out. Jericho wasn't old, but Jericho had mileage at that point too. That would, I don't know. Like we said before, Jericho eventually, in that, especially that 08, 09 run where he was just diabolical. But we had to get there first. Things had to happen. You know, by the way, 09, 08, 09 roster in WWE, I don't think was nearly as deep as this one. So we skip ahead. I don't know why Ernest Miller is on here. That's hilarious. Not Godfather, not Goldust, obviously. Hogan is, we're not having that conversation. Hurricane, no. Jamal, no. Jeff Hardy, too soon. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. That 09, 08 area that we're talking about 2 seconds ago, that was where he fit. That was perfect for him. The timing is right. Here's John, who was the up and comer at the time.
Yep. Keep going, and you're running into someone else here.
Kane was already kind of established main eventer at the time. He wouldn't be filling the spot, in my opinion. I kind of feel like Kane already had one.
So I feel like, just to be clear, I feel like we're talking about the guy, not just main eventer. We're talking we're trying to be the person who we're trying to pick. That's the whole point about talking about the John Cena thing in my head. We're trying to see who are we right now. We're in a pickle. Right, we got John Cena rapping. We got Lesnar on his way out.
They're building.
We need a guy.
John. Right. They're building and they're grooming John to be the guy. And he debuts in 02. He's on the cusp. We're saying he gets fired in 02 because in real life, he made it from 02 to 05 and then he became the guy. So to me, in my head, the cutoff is 05.
When he didn't rap.
Yeah, we're cutting off everything that John did from 02 to 05. Yes. So we're sticking to that area right there. Who in that area could we have room to be the guy?
Right. So
in WWE. Right.
I don't think
Kane's not in the. Yeah,
Kane is a main eventer. He's definitely a fighter. Yeah. Could have held the belt at some point, but we're talking about a face. The next guy up here is
Kurt Angle.
Been the guy.
Kurt Angle in 2002. You could put your money on. Now again, to decipher between the two.
Almost damn near what you did for Cena, you could have very well done with Kurt Angle that would have worked.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, it's not an apt comparison considering Kurt was by 2002, Kurt was already on a legendary pace. He had been world champion multiple times. He was already a top guy. He was already beating top guys. To say that he would have been a safe bet to be the face isn't much of a stretch because he was kind of already proven. That's what makes John's situation so unique. From 2002, he was nothing. They built in 3 years this fucking new megastar. Kurt could he have been the face of the company? Yes, absolutely, 100%. There's no doubt. But it wouldn't have been a long haul to carry. It wouldn't have been that much of a stretch considering everything that he had done. So I don't necessarily know if that's not a situation of Kurt filling in for someone who didn't make it. He was already kind of there.
Well, right. No, if anything, what we're saying is the opposite. Is that had this guy not rapped,
right,
Kurt Angle might have been our guy.
Yeah, Kurt Angle might have, especially on the SmackDown brand.
He could have been our guy.
Yeah. So we're moving forward here. Not Mark Henry, although he's looking fabulous in this picture. not Matt Hardy, despite it being version 1. Nobody on this list here. All right. Nobody on this list. Randy Orton. Now, Randy Orton came up at the same exact time.
It's too early
John
to
did.
say at this point, I think, for Randy.
Here's the thing, though.
I know they put a rocket on his back.
Yeah, they remember they went to him first. Randy Orton became champion before Johnny became champion in 2004. But as the story goes, even Randy will tell you it was a mistake to do it. He wasn't ready. So they took the belt off of him. They put him in mid-card fucking purgatory, and he had to work his way out. By the time 2005 came around and they pulled the trigger on John, he was ready. So while that is a more apt comparison, Randy and John, because they were at the same place at the same time, both got a look, both got a chance. He failed at his first.
Well, yeah, and I think that is a comment too. That's a comment too. It didn't matter what happened with John because his shit was supposed to happen before, and he dropped the ball.
Right. So obviously Ray was high on the list, but I wouldn't put him in the conversation.
At that time, I don't think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't put him in that conversation. Ric Flair passed, way past.
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam.
I don't know. I want to say
tough.
No. This year, you'll have to remind me around this time.
I put him around where
over, dude.
He was over, and in 2002 he was hot. But
dude,
I kind of put him in that same category that you kind of had Jericho in, where like you could put Rob in an occasional main event, and it would rock and it would make money, but it wasn't where he was all the time. And we want to talk about mileage. He had mileage on him.
I don't know though. Answer this question for me, man. Who was hotter, Rob Van Dam or Chris? I don't know. I just remember
that's tough.
Rob,
I don't know. That's
Rob
tough.
was. Listen, I don't even watch a lot of wrestling, and I don't have a lot of memories back here. But if there's one thing I remember, when Rob was he was fucking on, dude. People loved his run, man. He was on fire when he had his own.
Yeah, in 2002, he had a hell of a run. He was strong. And he, if memory serves me correct, he won his fair share of matches, but he took a lot of L's too. He was the guy that they had paired up with Brock Lesnar during the beginning of his run because they needed a guy that he could manhandle and make him look good and all that other stuff. He was an Intercontinental Champion. He had a few opportunities at the world title. He was like right there. But I never saw Rob as the kind of guy that they would say, okay.
Oh, no.
He's the guy.
Yeah, no.
Even after 2002, he still had, they made him the world champion. What was that, 2006? They finally made him the world champion, and then the fucking cop situation happened, and that was it for that. Yeah. So I don't know if he fits in there either. The Rock.
He was already. Yeah,
he was already kind of. Yeah. Yeah, you can argue he kind of was already there, so that's not a situation. I'm going down. Look at Sarah. Sarah's on this list. That's hilarious. Sean O'Hare, no thank you. Shawn Michaels was already kind of there. Hot take, I don't think Shawn Michaels was ever the face.
I was literally gonna say, you said he was already there, and I was gonna stop you and go. I was like, no, I think that's one of the things that pisses him off the most today is that he never was the guy.
He never really was the guy.
And to be fair, we're arguing people towing the line and stuff like that. I believe Shawn was a victim of his era. Because I think Shawn could have done it.
There's a few of those because you can make the same argument. You can make the same argument that if The Rock had performed in any era but that one, he might have been the face of the company. But he balled. He balled in the same area with Steve Austin, and there was nobody ever more white hot than that. So Shawn competed
ever again.
Shawn competed in the Bret Hart era. He just did. I know that people are going to look at 96 and say, well, hold on a second. He was like champion for like a year. Bret wasn't even in the company. He was very clearly the guy. Bret was the champion before Shawn in that era, and he disappeared to see if Shawn could hold it. And then when Bret came back, the belt went right back to Bret. So I don't.
And then he went into the Stone Cold era.
Yeah, then it transitioned right into the Stone Cold era. So it never. I don't think the baton ever officially really got passed to him. I think they gave him a strong shot, and I
Oh, yeah.
don't necessarily
Great
even
career.
think I don't even necessarily think he failed. Like as
He's
champion.
in because I believe you have a face, but you also have a group of faces, right? So you have the top
Yeah.
dog, and then you have your other
And
faces. You have to,
he's right
because
there. Yeah.
the top dogs have to fight other faces. They're not just fighting mid cards.
Yeah.
So he was up in that hierarchy, but he never reached the top of the top.
No, he didn't. So then we go
So
on the line here, and we're pretty much almost done here. But like Shelton Benjamin, no. Stone Cold passed.
absolutely.
It was too much. Test was a guy they looked at early, but by 2002 they had tapped out. They're like, no, we're good. Triple H was kind of already
What
in
a
that area.
terrible picture they chose for him there, dude.
For who's that? Test?
No, Triple H, dude. What are they
Oh
doing to my
yeah.
man, dude?
That
Come
looks
on.
more like Hunter Hearst Helmsley than it does Triple H.
Oh my goodness.
Taker was kind of already there. Val Venus was never going to get a real shot. Next Pac, I think they tried, and it just wasn't in the cards. So that's what that roster looks like at that time. If I was to click it to 2003, there's not much of a change. So I think that should kind of put it in perspective how strong that run really fucking was for those
So
3 years.
just to end this, I do have a question. Just to end this, I will have a question. Just will help support what we just went through. So we don't got to go too deep, but it is a question I want to figure out.
Sure
If he does not rap,
right,
he gets released.
Mm-hmm.
Today, you got options to build yourself again. What could he have done to make his way back to where he inevitably wanted to be?
In 2002?
What was his option if he didn't rap? Where could he go to build what he needed to get back? Or does he fail wrestling altogether?
No. This is going to sound ridiculous on paper because we all have a vision of John Cena in our head. But 2002 was the very first operating year of 2 very important entities, TNA and Ring of Honor. And had both started around in 2002. They were fresh, brand new companies at that time. I don't think John would have gotten a real strong opportunity at Ring of Honor.
In Ring of Honor. Okay, I was gonna say I feel like he'd be more of a TNA guy.
Yeah, just based on the style of work that Ring of Honor had at the time. John Cena of 2002 didn't really have a lot of cachet. He might have known some people. He might have had a few matches here and there, some dark matches, maybe some on the road matches. I don't really see where that would have worked potentially at the beginning of his career like that. He would have, I think, gotten a strong opportunity at TNA. And if I'm being honest, if John Cena, with the mind that he had, even at that age, would have gotten hooked up with a Jeff Jarrett and a Jerry Jarrett that early in his career, he would have been he would have been money for TNA for sure. I think eventually it would have been a short time because the goal was always WWE. I think he was going to be there no matter what, based on his frame of thinking. But I think TNA would have been that stage to give him, and he would have. The only problem with that is he would have had that TNA turned WWE guy stigma. Because at that time, also remember, WWE didn't like signing a lot of TNA talent.
That's true.
He didn't look like them. A lot of those guys from TNA, he didn't really look like them. He didn't really wrestle like them. Maybe he would have been an exception. He was taller, more fit. He had more of a bodybuilder look. He looked a lot more like someone that Vince would have been into from TNA. Like, look at him and then look at Samoa Joe. I could see why Vince wasn't enthralled with Samoa Joe in 2002, but I could see him being into John, especially since they already had him. So that all he really needed to prove to them was that he can develop, like Bruce said, a personality, something a little bit more intangible than just the physical tools. If he would have been able to go to TNA and develop an entire gimmick, maybe he starts rapping there. I don't know. But like, if he would have designed like this whole gimmick that they could have used and packaged, it would have increased his chances. But yeah, TNA was definitely an opportunity that could have worked for him, especially at that time when TNA was just trying things. Him and Monty Brown would have been awesome. John Cena versus Abyss in 2002. There's so many different ways that could have gone. But yeah, no, that's definitely the best option, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that should really put into perspective for people just how crazy a run that thing really was, because he went from this isn't really working to just shot out of a fucking cannon. Like he just it didn't feel like a build, because it really was. The rapping thing was in 02, but 03 the Doctor of Thugonomics really kicked. 04 he was popping every building, and then 05, forget it, my time is now. It's done.
He was
It's
out of here by
out
then.
of here. So yeah, and then if you want to say, wow, he rose pretty quick, if you think about it, it was only 3 years. He stayed that consistent for the next 22. That's insane. You don't have to like him. That's absolute madness. So we're going to take a pause for the calls real quick. We're going to take ourselves a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back with segment 3.
Hey guys, AJ Orsini here, and I am super excited to let all of you know that we have completely rebranded the official OUM YouTube channel. We have changed the handle, we've changed the look, we have changed the feel and the vibe of OUM's exclusive YouTube channel. Now, all you need to do to access this YouTube channel, it's very, very simple. You go into the search bar, you type in OUM Network, or you can type in youtube.com/@OUM Network. It'll take you right there. This is going to be all-encompassing, every aspect of OUM officially on YouTube. It's going to be the episodes, it's going to be the shorts, the reels, the independent spotlight, it's going to be the OUM Minute. It's all of your OUM needs on the official YouTube channel. Check it out today.
My time is now. A tournament taking place on Raw and SmackDown. I'm going to start off right at the top. I hate this fucking tournament.
Let's just get to it.
Let's
get right to it, man.
Yeah,
let's get right to it.
Let's just call a spade here. I don't like this fucking tournament. I don't think this is how the retirement for anybody should go. We're just going to have a random assortment of matches to decipher who's going to be the final opponent to what they're marketing as the greatest of all time.
My problem with it is, this was my fear with this, is that it would be
with the retirement thing.
No. With this part of the retirement thing, we'll talk about
that.
Once it's all over, we'll have our breakdown on the entire thing and what we thought about it. But for this moment in time right here, my worry about this, because I thought it's a phenomenal idea. I really do like this. Is very special. It's a very special idea. Okay. My problem with this is what I didn't want to happen, is where it just became blatantly fucking obvious what the situation was. And even if you want to make it blatantly obvious, I'm start calling people out. Don't give me Shinsuke Nakamura. It's not fucking happening.
Yeah.
So right. In his place, who's on fire right now in NXT? That's not an actual question. You don't have to answer that. You can if you want to. You can if you want to. But I'm just giving you my thought process.
Right.
I already know. I'm just talking about that one slot. I know that slot ain't going nowhere. So who's hot right now somewhere else that I can feed to the person who is inevitably going to win? That's fine. But let's give it, this person has a shot. You can even get crazy and let them win the first round. Something like that, right? Something,
yeah. Just to keep people on their toes.
Like, dude, I got a shot to get this rub from Cena. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, like, this could happen. This could change. I'm gonna sell the shit out of this. I know I'm not gonna go up. We know they're not gonna go all the way, but it's giving me a story. Don't give me the Miz. I love the Miz.
Oh, You should have seen how fucking mad people were.
Oh, I
with
already know.
the fact that he didn't win that match against Jey Uso. Oh my fucking god! Which, by the way, since you're saying that specifically about the people who are in this tournament, here's the list of people, the full list right here of everybody who's in this tournament. So you're saying, don't give me Shinsuke.
Damian Priest, I'm not all the way mad at that. I know I talk
Because
from
you're
a
a
biased
Damian Priest
situation.
guy, but
That's
all
fine.
right, yeah.
But but that's fair. I'll take that criticism. But in the context I'm talking about, that makes more sense than some of these other Rusev. Sure, that's perfectly fine. Sheamus,
There's some history.
Yeah, not even history, but like he just came back. He's trying to make a name for himself. Like that's fine. Sheamus, I'm a Sheamus guy for life. I don't give a fuck. You can put him anywhere and it makes sense for me because this dude is he just works. And
Bangers.
I even if he, for instance, is in there just to give you a hot first round with one of those people that make a little bit more sense, I'm never going to argue Sheamus. He's won a spot for me that like many people ain't going to get. Shinsuke makes no sense. Don't put him in here at all. He's not. It doesn't make any sense to me. The Miz, Jey Uso does make sense. I just don't like to see it unless you're not going to fully commit to Jey Uso. That's my only my only problem with Jey Uso right now is he's starting to, and we probably already saw it happening, but he's starting to just be an entrance. And
people have been on that for a minute now. I
personally think he's getting better, but at some point he will plateau, and we'll see what that is for him. I'm not even mad at him being in this list, but if I feel like you're not going to commit to Jey Uso, you're wasting this here. LA Knight, I'm not mad at that. I think this is something LA Knight needs, even if he doesn't get the match. This is something that LA Knight belongs in this group. Zack Ryder, I know. Stop me.
No, my only problem with LA Knight being in here is probably the same reason why I have a problem with Jey Uso being in it, is that both of these individuals are in situations where they need to win something. LA Knight needs to win something. If he's going to be in this tournament and then, I don't know, gets to the finals only to lose to the guy who will then go on to beat John Cena,
it hurts him.
We've seen that already, where he's like right there, and he's right there, and he's right there, but then like, God damn it, like,
no, you're right. You're right.
Fucking get there.
I agree with you. In that case, then I want to take out Jey Uso and LA Knight on this list because, again, for me, I'm okay with it being telegraphed who it is, but I want to use this opportunity to give other brand names who are at the top of those brands a chance to make me believe that they have a shot. So then you have Javon Evans. I personally don't even really know that guy too much. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, boy is bouncy.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay. Yeah. No. Okay, I'm cool with that then.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. He's cool. He's
cool.
Yeah, he's good. See, but that's what I mean. Like people like that should be in this. And then we get to who I inevitably think is winning this. Is Gunther.
Yes, that's probably
Gunther's getting the match.
Is he the guy who should be winning this? Is the big question now. Because if you go down this list, and you can continue down the list if you want,
I'm going
but
to.
Like of the group,
this
is 100%. The one that everyone's leaning on and going, okay, this is the obvious choice.
And this leans into my argument more. I'm okay with that, but make that last match like. You could have very well structured this to where I know Gunther is the guy.
Yeah.
Now give me an underdog against Gunther. Give me someone different, because now Gunther's giving a rub to that person. You're not beating him.
Gunther's first round matchup was last night at the Garden against Javon Evans, and they were smoking it. They killed it. And I'm not even going.
I need to watch that. I'm so excited to see that.
I wish I could have seen more of it. Unfortunately, the powers that be decided it was more important I'm about to get hot. I was so fucking mad last night watching Monday Night Raw at the Garden because I said to myself, something tells me I should go. It's John's last night. There's some big surprises planned. I should go. And for some reason, I'm watching this show. They give Nikki Bella a mic.
Oh, God.
Talk about Stephanie Vaquer. And it sounded like she didn't give a shit about what she was talking about. And then Maxine Dufucking goes against Becky Lynch for the Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw in Madison Square Garden. And I have no issue with Maxine Dupree as a person. I'm sure she's wonderful. We defended that poor girl right on this show when everybody was giving her all that shit about her work on the house shows and how she just didn't look like she even knew what she was doing. I tell you what, there's a lot of people out here going, well, she's improved. She has improved. But I don't want to live in a world where a WWE superstar who is now a champion still needs to go to wrestling school and finish her training. I don't want to live in that world. I want to live in a world where if you're a WWE superstar, you're polished, you're ready to go. Not whatever the fuck this is. Okay.
There's too many outlets for that not to be
the cannot do this at a high level, especially not in the fucking Garden. And I knew the jig was up at the very start of the fucking match when they were like, because I'm looking at her and I was like, she's got new gear. She put her extensions in. And I'm thinking, it's the Garden, right? She got all dolled up. And then the commentators go, yeah, she flew her parents in from California to come see her tonight. I said, oh, fuck. I said, there's no way. I'm looking at Steph. There's no way. They're not going to pull the trigger on this. This ain't real. Then I saw AJ Lee come out, and I took my phone and I chucked it as hard as I fucking could into the direction of the softest thing because I don't want to break my phone, but I want to develop some aggression. I said, please don't do this. And she won the fucking match. And for the record, I saw all of it. All of it. Then they go to commercial break after she wins the title. And when they come back from commercial break, Javon Evans is already in the ring. I said, so let me get this fucking straight. I have to sit through Maxine fucking Dupree, but the guy that I had waiting to see all day. I was hyping that match up. Javon Evans and Gunther is going to be a fucking monster. I was prepped. I was ready to go. And then I don't even get the entrance. I don't get the bouncy in Madison Square Garden. And then, I'm already pissed because of Dupree. I threw my phone. So during the Evans entrance, while I'm venting to my poor wife, I go to get my phone again. I said, you know what? I'm gonna vent my frustration on social media. I'm gonna post. And then before I could even get to the app, Gunther comes out, and he comes out to the old Walter music, the symphony. Instead of the Gunther theme. At which point, I threw the fucking phone a second time.
You missed it.
This is bullshit.
You could have been there.
This is bullshit. I've never felt more vindicated in not buying a ticket in my fucking life.
Oh, really?
And then they made a whole segment waste my time. Then they cut my boy's entrance. Then they changed my boy's music. And I said, but you know what? God damn it, I'm an optimist, right? I am going to will myself to enjoy this fucking situation. So I continue to watch. And then right when the match gets cooking, I see a dive or something, and I went, that's not a timeout spot, is it? And it went to fucking commercial. And I said, no fucking way. No fucking way. Then they come back. I said, okay, you know what? I'm going to watch this match. And they really don't want me to enjoy this, but I'm going to Force this to happen. So I'm watching it. I'm not even talking to Steph anymore. She's not here. I'm hyper focused. I'm watching this shit. And they go to another fucking commercial. I'm about ready to karate punch my fucking TV in half. Because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I can't believe this. This is bullshit. And then they come back from commercial, and here we go to the finish. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I noticed on the clock, this ain't the main event. I said, oh my God, they're going to use the last few minutes to set up the War Games, which means there won't be a match. It'll be all promo with entrances because they got to surprise us as if we didn't know who the last people were going to be in that match. They're going to surprise us. And I had it. And Joe's texting me, what a great Raw. Fuck you. Fuck everything about you. I can't believe it. I couldn't believe how that whole fucking scenario just went. I was so fucking mad. Please continue with this. I'm getting all over the place.
No, so I mean, it gets a little better on the tail end of it. Like Solo Sikoa, I don't all the way hate him there. What'd you do to the screen? You moved something.
I clicked something by accident.
Solo Sikoa, I mean, I don't all the way hate that in there. Again, we could have used it. No, I think he's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Dolph Ziggler, no. Finn Balor, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Finn Balor. I'm okay, obviously, with Penta. I'm okay with Reed, and I'm okay with Hayes. Those make sense to me. The Dolph, not so much. Solo, sure, I'll bend. But yeah, there's so many. I feel like, especially with all the other companies that they're partnering with now, man, this could have been so much more special, especially with the conversation we just had about this whole thing. To me, should have just been riddled with opportunity, right? The whole idea of John Cena may not even be at this point if he didn't just do the right thing or be put in a position to try something different and take advantage of a situation. This could have been an opportunity to put somebody on the screen who may have some promise and have a chance to show something that could have changed their career.
Yeah,
it could have. But instead, we're doing this. And I don't understand what the writers are thinking here when you have a once in a lifetime opportunity to set something up. You already showed us your hand. We know where you're going with this. Let's do something special with this. Let's put someone on a bus hearing people freestyle, knowing you can freestyle. Let's put them in that situation. But we're not. Instead, we're having Shinsuke Nakamura in a match with Sheamus. That's such a fucking waste. And I don't understand what they are fucking thinking doing stupid shit like this. They really need to fucking stop this. They really need to stop doing shit like this.
I'm going to get rid of this page in a second because these pop-ups are all over.
Yeah, get rid of them. We're good. We read off the thing.
No. You read up the list, but I also want to update people. So far, from the people that you've mentioned, Rusev defeated Damian Priest. Sheamus defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Jey Uso defeated The Miz. LA Knight defeated Zack Ryder. Gunther defeated Javon Evans. Solo Sikoa defeated Dolph Ziggler. This Friday, Finn Balor will compete against Penta, and Carmelo Hayes will compete against Bronson Reed. So we'll have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our Elite 8 set by Friday, which is dope because we'll be able to touch on this a little bit when we do our little Survivor Series around our conversation. So we'll be able to get a little deeper into that. But I think, to your point, I think one of the biggest reasons why, now that you're saying everything that you're saying out loud, I think one of the biggest reasons I really hate this, it's attempting to serve too many masters. You made mention, well, they have so many business agreements that this could have been really crazy. I can give you an example right now that they used that. Zack Ryder's here. Dolph Ziggler's here. This could be an opportunity for young guys to get an opportunity. I could say that they did that here. Javon Evans is here. from NXT. Carmelo Hayes is here. These are new young guys. Well, what about guys? He should be facing somebody he has history with. Well, Rusev is here. Sheamus is here. There's a few guys. Well, I was going to say Dolph Ziggler, but he got eliminated. But there's a few guys here. I think that's part of the problem. You didn't commit to either direction. Instead of doing a whole tournament in one field, do a whole tournament of his most hated foes, and the one who last man standing gets one last shot to defeat their rival. You didn't do that. Okay, we don't have enough rivals to do that because some of them are in the other company. So how about a whole tournament of motherfuckers he's never faced? Right? Ruthless aggression style. That's what happened with Kurt Angle. So put 16 guys in the tournament he's never even had the opportunity to face that could probably use a win like beating John Cena on their goddamn resume. You didn't do that. Well, what about elevating, right? Let's take some of the mid-card guys that are right there at that cusp who need a little bit of a boost. You can say that they did that with Rusev, with Priest, with you can throw Sheamus back in there for that one. Penta, right? Finn Balor, who could probably use a win like that. They did that, but they did all of it. It's muddy. You got people in here that obviously aren't going to win. Then you have people in here that you really think should win, but we know isn't. Then there's the one guy who we know is going to face John, and you're having him go through a tournament. My wife made a great point yesterday as we were watching Gunther. He's been out for several months, and he looked like it yesterday. So he could use a few more matches. The match was still great. Half Gunther's speed is still better than a lot of other motherfuckers' full speed. And when he gets those matches underneath him, he's gonna be a fucking monster again. So I could see them saying, well, this is going to be a great opportunity for a bunch of guys to get great matches out of Gunther, which leads into John Cena. But you didn't need a tournament to do that. If anything, I think I mentioned this on the show before. I would have loved Gunther to just go on a rampage and destroy all of his rivals leading up to him. Kind of put himself on John's radar. Like, I'm going after John. Like, you didn't need a tournament for that. I raised a point to someone the other day. Let's see how the audience feels about this. Dave, I don't think you'll understand this reference because I don't think you remember it, but I'm going to rewind all the way to 1996. And we were just talking about Shawn Michaels a little while ago, how he wrestled in Bret Hart's era. That was part of Bret Hart's era. And 95 was the last strong era that Bret Hart had leading into 96. He goes to WrestleMania 12. He loses in the Iron Man match to Shawn Michaels. And like, remember what we said, Bret loses to Shawn Michaels and then disappears. Was that April? March. That particular 1996 WrestleMania was in March 30th or toward the end of March. And Bret Hart disappears. And Shawn runs as champion. Bret gets they start talking about Bret Hart returning at some point, but no, they did this whole angle where it was just like he was very non-committal. I may come back, I may not come back. I was on the road 10 years straight, 12 years straight, no breaks. I'm having a good time being with my family. He did Lonesome Dove. He was doing some acting. He did some Mad TV. He was doing his thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin is on the rise. Stone Cold Steve Austin wins King of the Ring. He's doing his thing. And Stone Cold Steve Austin says, I'm the man here. I'm the best wrestler in the world. Can't nobody tell me different. And I want to prove it. And I want to go against the best wrestler in WWE. And he didn't say Shawn Michaels. He didn't say Psycho Sid. He said Bret Hart, who wasn't even with the company anymore. And he said, I want to face Bret Hart. And Bret Hart brushed it off. Just some young up-and-comer talking smack. He wants a shot at the champ. He wants a shot at the man. He's not worth it. Don't worry about it. But Stone Cold applied pressure and applied pressure and applied pressure. And he's going against some strong opponents, big wins. The Undertaker, Mark Merrow, Gold. He's going against top-tier talent, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. And he's beating everybody. He goes, I want Bret Hart. I want Bret Hart. And it wasn't just who he was going after. But you may not remember the matches, Dave. You don't remember the feud, but you remember. I know you remember the promos. I know if I played it in front of you, you would be like, oh shit. If you put the letter S in front of Hitman, you get my exact opinion of Bret Hart. He wanted Bret Hart in the worst way imaginable. If I will beat his pink and black ass all over the ring, every goddamn week. And to the point where Brett started feeling insulted. This guy's really putting on pressure. He's really trying to downplay my legacy. And eventually he said, you know what? I am going to come back. And you know what? I'm going to shut this guy's mouth. I'm going to go to the Survivor Series. I'm going to fuck this guy up. I'll prove it to the world. And the two of them got in there when they had a classic. And Bret Hart won. But he didn't win by much. And that's all it took. And now the legacy is made. I'm not saying tit for tit, bar for bar, steal the whole swag. What I'm saying is wouldn't it have been cool if John's going on this run? And even right now, he's the Intercontinental Champion. He's got his eyes set on Dom. But this whole time, Gunther's like, no. I'm the man now. This is my house now. It's not your house anymore. It's my house. And if anybody deserves the right to take a legend like John Cena out, it's me. And watch what happens. Who was the guy that took John Cena to the limit at WrestleMania 32, humbled him, put him in the accolade, was breaking his back, was humbling him? That was Rusev. Watch this. And he goes out and he destroys fucking Rusev. All right? Who was the other one that was out? You had an option of getting a Dolph Ziggler on the table and you fed him to a Solo Sikoa. What if you had given Gunther a mystery opponent? Gunther says, I want whoever has been a pain in the neck to John Cena for years, who's given him his biggest matches, his biggest problems. I want a piece. And they send in Dolph Ziggler, big surprise. And he beats the shit out of Dolph Ziggler. Who else? Who else has given him problems? CM Punk. CM Punk's giving him problems? All right, well, I got beat for CM Punk too. He beat me at SummerSlam. I'll take on some CM Punk. Beats the shit out of CM Punk. Now, I wouldn't do that one flat out.
I was going to say, that one's a little tough, but I got what you're saying.
I wouldn't do that one flat out. That's got to be a fuck finish. But I want to, you can still have that match because that's what Gunther did in SummerSlam. He had a dominant match against Punk. Punk came out of it in the end. But they've already established he can beat the shit out of Punk. No problem. So dominant win. And you just keep going and you keep going on and on until eventually John can't avoid it. You saw how, you didn't see because you didn't see Raw. All Dom did to get the match at Survivor Series was just challenge him. That's it. That's all John wants. Just man to man, just challenge me. So if he's just beating all these motherfuckers up and then he looks at John and just goes, you, my friend, you, my guy, you're the end goal. I like that more as a personal issue than a fucking tournament. And you can take the guys that are in this tournament right now and build toward something that progresses them. I like Penta in this tournament too, like you said, but he's not going to win. Finn Balor in this tournament is dope. He's not going to win. We're going to get a banger between Balor and Penta, but where does that lead us? Either one of them.
You're not. So it's for you. Just so I'm clear, it's not necessarily the people that are in it. It's the way that they went about it.
Not so much the way that I do have a problem with some of the people that are in it because I don't think they're necessary or needed. They're cannon fodder for something that isn't going to lead to anything. As I mentioned earlier to you, the people that won: Rusev, Sheamus, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Gunther, and Solo Sikoa. Those are all guys that I all need big wins for sure, but only one of those guys is coming out, which means even though you gave them a big win, it's going to come at the cost of at some point taking a humongous loss. So you're going to wind up right back where you started. That's called 50-50 booking, and it doesn't work for anybody. It doesn't get anybody over. One person will come out of this with a win, and an eventual match with John, where I assume will be another win. So why not just focus on that individual who's going to win, i.e. a Gunther? Why distribute the attention evenly across 16 people when you can just fucking focus on the guy who's going to beat John Cena?
Yeah, in this scenario, I don't think that. Well, I don't think that works every time. Tournaments could be cool. In this particular scenario, for this one in a lifetime opportunity, I prefer that than a tournament.
A tournament works best when the tournament is the focus. The King of the Ring tournament works because there's a prize at the end that any one of them could win, and progression in that tournament helps your career. To be a King of the Ring finalist or to progress to the semifinals of the King of the Ring, that made sense. When there's a tournament for a championship, it widens the range of expectation. That's why I think is the most important piece of the puzzle. You know, if it's a tag team title tournament with the tag teams on line, there's probably about 4 or 5 tag teams in there. You can go, okay, I can kind of see it. But that would be a surprise, or that would be a nice change of pace. Or these guys are too dominant. They might just pull it off. This particular tournament is the prize is an opportunity to go to Washington, D.C., compete against what they consider to be the greatest of all time and potentially win against him. That lessens the field. Penta's not going to Washington, D.C. to beat John Cena. It's just not happening. So your level of expectation shrinks tremendously when you cast a wide net to catch one fish. It's weird. It's not going to work for anybody. And all those guys who won, like Jey Uso, like you said, okay, he defeated The Miz. He's not going to DC to face John Cena. As over as he is, John Cena's last match in WWE is not going to be babyface versus babyface, which leaves me with just the heels. And the heels that won are Rusev, Gunther, and Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa had his run with John. It's not happening again. Rusev would be cool to some degree, but he's not high enough on the totem pole for that match to really be a main event mega match. Gunther is the only option.
Rusev would be good. Rusev would be good if Gunther wasn't in it.
All of these people would have a much better chance of believability of winning if Gunther wasn't in it. If Gunther wasn't in it, Sheamus has a shot, Rusev has a shot, LA Knight has a shot, Bronson Reed has a shot. There's some real competitors here.
That sounds cool, but to your point, Gunther is there because it's for Gunther.
Right.
So
right.
I see what you're saying.
Right. Which means whoever drew the short straw in wrestling Gunther in the tournament, they're the ones who are going to get rubs because they're the ones who are going to be featured. Javon Evans got featured at Madison Square Garden not because he's Javon Evans, but because he was in this tournament against Gunther. All of the eyes are on Gunther. So they don't have a bracket. So I don't know who the next opponent for Gunther will be, but it looks like, based on the way that it's written here, it may be Solo Sikoa, and that's death for Solo Sikoa. That's not going to work out well at all. So and then he gets the winner of either Penta and Balor and Carmelo Hayes and Bronson Reed. I don't see Bronson going
Bronson's going over.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts here, and there shouldn't be this many moving parts considering we know what the target is. We know what the end game is going to be. They're not choosing this individual frivolously. So, and before we end this, if anybody out there, I'm speaking directly to the audience now, if you were one of these individuals that thought that any one of those mystery opponents was going to be either Edge or Jericho, you're not.
No words. No words.
You're not understanding how this works. Okay, it's the wrestling business. Collectively, as a whole, it's $1 billion industry. Things don't work like that. Tony Khan just did Ariel Helwani's podcast. Tony Khan, he just did an interview. And he just said, because he was asked, did WWE attempt to contact you for the purposes of possibly borrowing Adam Copeland's services for a Cena match for his retirement tour.
That sounds like a weird ass question to even ask out loud.
I think it's the perfect question because I think it's a question that fans. I think it's a way for Ariel, who's the interviewer, who's really, really good at this job, by the way. I think it's a way to shut down the thought process of it even being a possibility down the line. Because this continuously keeps happening. There's this new thing going on with these fans where they're in their brains, they're blurring those lines. Like anything's possible. It's not. It's not at all possible. It will never be possible. And when he asked him, Tony said, they never reached out to us once to talk about the services of Adam Copeland. And of course not. Because this is a fucking business. And if they do that, if they bring in Adam Copeland to be the final opponent of John Cena, obviously, based on what we saw, Dolph Ziggler, Zack Ryder, if they did bring him back for just the one match, he would be Edge for the one more match. There'd be no doubt in that. But they would have to say something about AEW, and they're not going to fucking do it. They're not going to fucking do it. They brought Dolph Ziggler in because they could. There wasn't a whole lot of chatter about his role in TNA. They were talking about him like he's Dolph Ziggler. They were saying he hasn't been here in years. Yeah, no kidding. Zack Ryder, same deal. They didn't mention anything about GCW or TNA or anything like that. He was just Zack Ryder. So if they brought him back, he would just be Edge to them. And I don't think Tony would make that deal. Why the fuck would he? I'm not just going to give them one of my top stars just because he used to be a top star for them to borrow him so that they could make mega money on a mega match that I'm not going to get any proceeds from. I'm going to get no promotion from. And it's not going to help our future relationship at all. As soon as they get Edge and send them back, they're never going to talk to me again anyway. So what the fuck? What does Tony have to gain by doing it? Nothing. It's a terrible. Jericho's a different situation. I think he's still technically under contract, but the word on the street is that won't be the case for very long. And people are already making rumors, if not here, they were like, well, maybe the Rumble then we'll see a little Chris Jericho action. Who knows? But just for anybody out there, this is a business. It was never going to be that. Let that shit fucking go. Please. Jesus Christ. So anyway, yeah, I'm not a big fan of this tournament, but I digress. When we get to the end of this tournament, if it's not Gunther, I'm going to pull a Drewski right now. Right? Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
That would be weird if it wasn't.
It better be a strong fucking pick. And the funny thing is, it absolutely 100% has to be a heel. So that makes the list even shorter of potential options of going against John Cena. So I tell you right now, if John Cena's final opponent is, I don't know, Solo Sikoa, listen, I was there at WrestleMania 35 when Kurt Angle's final opponent was Baron Corbin. Listen, my God. Oh my God. You don't want to go down that path. It's a scary, scary path. My God. Anything else you have on the...
No, I think I said enough.
Yeah, this goddamn tournament business. Main event time, boys.
It is now time for the main event of the evening.
In our main event of the evening, I am going to try to attempt to do something that many people think is impossible. I'm going to try to make sense of AEW. Now, hold on and hold the phone. There's a lot of talk, a lot of scuttlebutt that took place concerning AEW's last program, Blood and Guts. That is AEW's version of the War Games. Cody Rhodes brought it in when he was a part of AEW. He's no longer there, which is why it's so weird they still have it. But they still do have it. And they had it this past week. And traditionally, it's just been men in the match. Not the case this past week. There was two blood and guts matches, one for the men, one for the women. And I have just got to hear, because I watched it, because I didn't want to critique anything without seeing it for myself. I didn't want to just rely on whatever I heard or anything like that. I wanted to see it for myself and be able to get a feel for how everything went and then make my judgment for there. But I got to ask you, because I haven't sat through an AEW anything in a long time. What were your thoughts watching this matchup? Or watching both matches, I should say.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't terrible.
Okay.
I don't think it was. I mean, here's what.
You're speaking on the women's match specifically, just so we're clear.
Women both. I particularly like the women's one better.
Okay. And
I like the women's one better.
Yes.
But I don't. Okay. I don't think they were bad.
Okay.
First of all, I don't like the War Games, Blood and I don't like Two Rings. For how much of this I inherently don't like, I didn't think it was terrible.
Right.
At first it was, when I first started, and the two girls that were in the ring, when they started, I'm like, oh fuck, man, this is brutal. When she grabbed her hair and tried to swing her and like lost her body, and
I was here we go.
And this is gonna bring me to my main point here.
Okay.
I don't think I actually my reaction to that was I stopped it. I instantly, when I saw that hair shit, I turned it off. And I said, fuck him, I'm gonna be a bad podcast co-host today because I'm not watching this shit. I can't do this.
By the way, the two starting women was Willie Nightingale and
thank you. And you're gonna have to fill those gaps.
Sky Blue, and that was she went for a hair nair. So Willow grabbed Sky by the scalp, by the hair, and attempted to kind of swing around with her, but they mistimed everything, and she just kind of bumbled around.
She like buckled up. It was weird. Yeah. It was so weird. So I didn't want to watch it. I was like, you know what? Whatever, man. Let me start watching it.
He said, let me power through.
I literally had to reload it because I turned it all off. Shit just made me so mad. And you know what it was? So I saw that, and then I checked to see how long it was, and I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm sitting through an hour of this shit. I'm not doing this. This is too much. So, but anyway, it brings me to my points. My points is, I think that the AEW, obviously, they have some talent there. I think the bulk of their talent.
Yeah, we've never denied that. There's people there that can do this. Yeah.
Yes, but the bulk of their talent is very much like those first two girls at the very beginning. It comes off very sloppy. The timing is bad. It's not. Most of it isn't clean wrestling. That's one of my big issues. Second issue, it's way too fucking long. Like everything they do. These, I know, these two matches alone were over 2 hours. That's more than that's too much. And there's so much filler bullshit where people are just fucking standing around and nothing is happening and nothing is moving. That's my issue. That's one of my big issues with it. And the last part isn't so much a comment on them. It's more me obviously not following, but it was really hard to get into what I was kind of enjoying because the people that I did know didn't even fucking look like the way I remember them. Like they said Statlander, and I could not pick her out in the bunch at all. Like I had no fuck. Like everyone looked so different. So but that's more of a me thing. I haven't been watching, so I'm not up on everyone and stuff like that. But as I just sat with it, and as all the girls came out and the intensity ramped up as they normally do, it wasn't bad. And to be fair, it was kind of nice to see the women be able to get a little hardcore. I mean, you don't really see it that much in these. These girls went in there and fully committed to this shit. They wanted to throw glass at each other, rip each other's fucking head open. And like the first few minutes, I think someone cut. She was gushing the entire time. Like
2 minutes into this match, Sky Blue was covered in.
She was covered.
She was covered in it.
Covered in it. And I got respect for it. Like just because they're women, it shouldn't take away like for them wanting to be hardcore. And the fact that The fact that they committed to it and no
Yeah.
one seemed to be scared at all. They
100%.
all wanted to fuck each other up. They were actually scary excited to be fucking making each other bleed and shit like that. So I like it because of that. It wasn't a bad match once I got past and just kind of accepted the clunkiness. It wasn't terrible. I don't want to watch that shit for an hour again, but in the moment right now, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
Official times for the women's blood and guts match: 46 minutes, 10 seconds. And for the men, it was 54 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yeah.
For the women, it was. I should have did this at the beginning, so I apologize.
No,
the heels, the Triangle of Madness, Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Thekla, teamed up with Megan Bain, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Monet. They defeated Jamie Hayter, Chris Stanlander, Babes of Wrath, which is Willow Nightingale, and Harley Cameron, and the Timeless Love Bombs, Timeless Tony Storm, and Mina Shirakawa.
Goddamn.
The men's match, Darby Allin, Roderick Strong, and members of the conglomeration, Mark Briscoe, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly, defeated the Death Riders, John Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Daniel Garcia, and Pac. So that's how
Pac. The fuck happened to that guy?
Listen,
he's a goddamn tank. I didn't even fucking realize who he was.
That boy is humongous.
That dude's been eating steak, bro. He is big.
Steak.
Big.
He is chasing down bulls while they're alive.
He's
and just
eating
consuming
deer out in the wild. Like that shit was white. He looked like a completely different person.
You know that joke we used to make back in the day from Aqua Teen that we heard about hanging sheetrock and fixing edges. That's what he's in that type of shape. He's just manly man.
Massive. But to finish my point, the guys wasn't even that bad either. Actually, I kind of enjoyed it. Like it was nice seeing damn, I hate when my freaking brain draws blanks on names. The dude that like kills himself all the time.
Oh, Darby Allin.
Thank you, Darby Allin. It was nice
that's my guy.
It was nice to see Darby Allin again, and it's been a while since I've seen AEW, right? So it was nice to see the hardcore shit again. I'm not gonna lie, you don't really get a lot of that. Well, not close to that in WWE.
You took a break from it.
So and this is my final point. The humbling part, the part that pulled me out of it when it was all said and done, is unfortunately that's a Tuesday for them. And if you start watching, you're gonna get
Wednesday. It's usually it's a Wednesday for them.
Every single night you're gonna get that, and it's too much. So the break and then watching that, I will say I enjoyed this, but I don't know if this is enough for me to go watch a 6-hour show. I have trouble keeping up with Raws and SmackDowns that are
as it is.
And I enjoy that, the way they structure. I know people hate, there's a lot of talking and not more matches stuff. I like it. I like the story. I want to know what's going on. I want the matches to have more meaning and stuff. So it is slower, but I do enjoy that. So and even then, it's hard for me to keep up with it constantly. So there's no way I'm watching all of that. But I'm curious of what you think, because I'm sure you want to rip this to shreds.
Well, no, I don't. And that's kind of one of the surprising things about it. I think because I'm sorry, my phone's going on. I think because we hadn't seen it in a while. I don't know if fresh is the right word, but I was watching new wrestling I felt like I was watching something new for the first time in like forever.
It was a reset,
right?
You got a
reset. It was like no Rollins, no Roman Reigns, no. It was just a completely new, like a fresh palette. So I was like, all right, cool. I would kind of gotten into it.
When you say that, you know what it actually gives me a feeling of, because we actually just did a whole thing on this just now, is there's no predictability. There's no predictability.
Oh yeah, for this one, yeah.
They don't have stories. That's our biggest gripe with them. Like anyone could fucking win it. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
someone's gonna die and someone's gonna win. You don't know who it is. So
someone's gonna hear you say that and they're gonna go, "Oh, that's bullshit. AEW has stories. None of them are logical. They all exist, but there's always you're expecting a zig and it zags, and then you're supposed to have a zag, but it zags incorrectly. It's weird. It's weird. But I had heard about the match before I saw the match. I initially had no interest in ever seeing the match. It wasn't on my list of shit to do. I have a long list of shit to do. It wasn't on it. But I started hearing a lot of talk about it. And it's almost like freak show shit, right? You don't want to go in there, but then everybody who keeps coming out of there was just like, oh my God, that was disgusting. They're like, yeah, I know. That was the weirdest shit I've ever seen in my life. And you go, oh God damn it, I gotta see this shit now. Because everybody was just like, it was brutal, it was disgusting, it was over the line. I can't believe they let these women go this far on national TV. I said, God damn, what did I miss?
Yeah, no, I got.
So I was like, all right, I gotta see it. And then I watched it, and I could not believe how outrageous people were being with the criticisms of this match. And there's a specific reason why I sent you both matches. I sent you the women's match and I sent you the men's match. And the reason why I sent you both is because I wanted it clear as day, what I'm about to say, to make absolute sense. I need people, and this is not a all-encompassing thing. There's a specific subset of people who are wrestling fans who are at war. There's people who are the old school who see women as attractions, not really, you can't do a whole roster of women. They can't, they really shouldn't be having every type of match. There's at the end of the day, they're still women, they're feminine, they're soft, they could be athletes, but man, they really should stay away from dangerous stuff. And, we need to protect our women of wrestling. Then there's the other side that goes, women are just as good as the men. They should be able to do everything that the men do. I don't give a shit what it is. It should be equal across the board. They should just be beating the shit out of each other. It's the same as the men. What I need is for everybody to come together and make a fucking decision where we're going to stand with women's wrestling. Because I don't know if anybody's been paying attention. It ain't going anywhere. At one point, maybe, yeah, it was an attraction. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. It was a one women's match for every 10 cards promoted. Okay, fine. That's not the case anymore. The women's rosters on all major televised wrestling companies are expanded. There's more women's wrestlers today, for good or for bad, than ever before. There are more women in main events. There are more women on the flyers. There's more women selling merch. There's more women being used for promotional materials across the world. Women are becoming $1 million industry within the $1 billion industry of wrestling. So it very clearly isn't going anywhere. So regardless of what side of the fence you land on, let's just all come to the agreement that the women have done it. They've shattered through the glass ceiling. Women's wrestling is here to stay. Now, it's like Pirates. It's like Pirates of the Caribbean. We've agreed on terms. Now we're just haggling over price, right? That's all we're doing. They're here. Now we're just trying to decipher what here is supposed to look like. So for myself personally, I would like, because I've gotten heat in the past. I've had people tell me that I hate women's wrestling simply because I don't allow and don't like pointless intergender matches. I would never book it.
No, I don't like.
I would never book it. Not to say that I would never book intergender matches, but it has to have a reason. It has to have a point. There has to be a story. You can't just out of the blue go this guy, this girl, this Saturday. Like, that's stupid to me.
There have been some fun ones.
Yes,
that has happened.
It can be done when you do it right. It can be done. It can make a lot of money. It could do it right. But you can't.
But like my memory of that is Penta and Io Sky. Like, look who we're talking about.
Right now, like, people are gonna sit there and they're gonna go, look, that didn't have much of a storyline. It was just a kick-ass match, right? But to be fair, there aren't many Pentas in the world, and there are even fewer EOs in this world. So we shouldn't be advocating everyone do this, right? So I've gotten heat. I've gotten heat in the past from people saying that I hate women's wrestling and I hate women's wrestlers because I don't see them as equal to men because I won't book them in the same match. I said no. Again, it's like all equality. Everyone's different. What should be equal is respect. I respect everybody equally, especially if you're willing to go out there and ball out like these ladies did for that blood and guts match. They were were like a pig and shit. They were happy as fuck that they could go out there and have a goddamn cage match in front of all those goddamn people.
There wasn't a single second of hesitation. It may have been sloppy throughout the damn thing.
If anything, that might have been more nerves than anything else. They were so excited to fucking do this shit. They were so
happy to beat the shit.
They were just so fucking geeked to get in there and have a War Games match. That shit happens. And I got to tell you, there was some botches in the men's match too. Then not everybody.
It's AEW. There's botches everywhere.
Everyone can dip their head into the botch bowl and pull out a piece of paper.
It's fine.
It's fine. Everyone has issues. There'll be some botches next weekend.
There's going to be botches for eternity.
Yeah, it's never going away. So my stance on this is very, very simple. I think if I've said on this podcast several times, because this is the fourth year in a row where we've had War Games for Survivor Series, and there have been times where I sat here and said, "Ugh, that women's War Games match was a pain in the ass." And then there's been times where I've sat here and said that the women's War Games was better than the men's. It's happened. Both sides have happened. But the one thing you've never heard me say, which is what a lot of people are saying about this specific match, is that the women have no business being in the cage in the first place. So what are we doing? Why are we letting women even have this kind of match? This is brutal. This is disgusting. This is beneath them. They shouldn't be doing this. I disagree. In this particular situation, too, which I think helps my case, there were a ton of storylines for the women that led into this. The way that the Triangle of Madness set up, and I did my homework before that. I know people are going to hear, how does he know the stories? Because he says he hasn't been watching. Because before I got on the podcast, I looked it the fuck up. Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa are doing the whole tag team deal. And that's leading in to Harley and Willow, who are also doing the tag team deal. And they've been having their issues with the Triangle of Madness. Mercedes Moné's had an issue with Chris Statlander because now she's going for the title at their upcoming pay-per-view. She's looking for belt number 14 is Mercedes Moné. She's now up to 13. She won a new belt over at Hog. Thanks, guys. And so now that machine is still rolling. All of their characters are in place. The Triangle of Madness, obviously a bunch of psycho chicks looking to just cause mayhem and destruction. That's why they were the first three girls in the cage, which was Megan Bain and Chris Statlander finally had their confrontation. This is all over the place. But this, for the first time in a long time, all over the place in a good way, because this is if there was ever a match to have where chaos is okay, it was here. It was this. It was okay to be chaotic here. Because this is blood and guts. It's War Games. It's where storylines come to die. Because this is where everything goes to the end. This is the blow off. This is where everything happens. So if there was ever a time to just let it go, let it go. I need people to come to an understanding of where they stand when it comes to women and wrestling. Are they women or are they wrestlers? Because if they're wrestlers, I don't see anything that happened on that show that was bad. I don't see anything that was on that show where they shouldn't have done this and they shouldn't have done that. Why? The guys did the same exact shit mere 30 minutes after they did. So what is the goddamn difference? Are we respecting the athletes equally? Or are we still playing the game of boys and girls? Because that's what it seems like. Ricky Steamboat, who was at the show, said he didn't really care too much for the women's match. He didn't disrespect the women. He said they're fine athletes, fine wrestlers. That style, he not comfortable seeing women in. And I understand that. He comes from the old guard. He comes from the old time. So I understand where he's coming from. My issue is when I see the people who stand on my doorstep and tell me that they are so pro women's wrestling, but the minute the women get an opportunity to showcase what they can do at any high level, all of a sudden it becomes a problem. This was a high level match. Regardless of what it looked like, it's not an easy match to pull off. There's 12 women who all got to get their shit in inside of a time frame. And I know you said it took forever. These matches usually do. We just looked at the time. It's 47 minutes. But when you're in a match, 47 minutes is 5 hours. It is forever. It is forever. And you have to keep the audience engaged in everything that you're doing. And Sky Blue bled. If that match was 47 minutes, Sky Blue bled for 45. That's not a fun thing to do. No one at any point in time should be bleeding out of anywhere 45 minutes straight. That's not comfortable, okay, at all. So I give the women all the credit in the world for what they did. I give the men all the credit in the world because a lot of those guys that were in that match are war game veterans. Some of them have been in that match before, so they know what that match is all about.
That finish was fire, by the way.
Yeah,
I like that finish.
Yeah. The women had a great fucking finish too, not for nothing. The holding down Toni Storm and making her watch her best friend get her ass kicked. And the only way that the match came to an end is when Toni said, "I quit," just so they can stop beating on her friend. Because that sets up more storylines for after the fact. Just like, and Toni Storm cut a 15-second promo that was phenomenal. They were 10. Did you see the? I don't think I sent it to you, but I don't know if you saw it. They shot a quick video of Toni distraught standing over Mina's body as the EMT was working on Mina and making sure that she stops bleeding, and they were checking her head. And Toni looks at the camera and she goes, "Mercedes Monet," and she's naming like all the people, and she goes, "Yeah, you think that you can just get away with beating on my friend? We are good at two things: fucking and fighting. And either way, when I get my hands on you, you're all fucked." And I was like, yeah, it's just everything that she touches at this point is just fucking gold. But the way that match started, all the way to the way that the match ended, it all leads to something. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I could follow this. They were giving me stuff that I felt like I could follow. It was 12 women in the match, but you can see based on the interactions where it was going to splinter off into after. Chris and Mercedes had their whole thing because they're up next in the feud, but they also finished off Harley and Mercedes because Harley pulled out the puppet, which has been a pain in the ass to Mercedes for forever. And she pulls off the puppet and reveals the fucking brass knucks. And she gives her the Australian wallet.
That was cool as fuck too. I it's funny because I saw that. I'm like, dude, he hated this shit. I know he fucking hated that.
No.
That was fucking awesome. With the brass knuckles underneath,
yeah,
was
it
awesome.
fit because you know what's funny? You know why I liked it so much? They built the bitch up. Because they started with the puppet making fun of Mercedes, and Mercedes would eventually cut promos against the puppet, which was goofy. But I took the ride. Then it became Mercedes was getting so pissed that she would actually take action against the puppet. She'd kick it, she'd pop, she'd punch it, whatever. Then when last we checked on the puppet, they were doing this. They had a cake and a ceremony for Mercedes Monet to celebrate her 12 belts. And the puppet popped up out of nowhere. And she starts cutting a promo against the puppet and realizes, what am I doing? And she shoves the puppet's face into the cake like that. It was like a feud with the puppet for forever. But Mercedes has been verbally and physically abusing the puppet, with the puppet having no recourse, no return, until, whoop, ha ha ha, motherfucker, bam, and she cold cocks the bitch. I can follow that. It's ridiculous because it's a puppet, but I can follow that. That's why people say, how do you not like the goofy shit? It's wrestling, because not all goofy shit is good. That was goofy shit. I enjoyed it. They built it up. Finally, the puppet comes out of nowhere. Ha ha, brass knucks. And I was like, oh shit. They had a bed of nails for the women. They had a bed of nails. They had all kinds of weird fucking shit in this match. But it's and another thing I get heat for is I don't like deathmatch wrestling. They go, but hey, you don't like the hardcore shit. I liked this one because it told a fucking story. Yeah. This one to me told a story. I enjoyed it. I was able to follow everything. I understood why everybody was fighting at the beginning, and by the time it got to the end, everybody was fighting who they were supposed to fight next. And I understood that. So it was easy. It's actually the reason I feel like the women's match was better. Because the men didn't do a bad job. I think they reversed it. I think they kind of started teasing at the very, very beginning where things could wind up. And then by the end of it, when they got to that finish, it was like a shock finish for the audience. I just think they put it all together. And I enjoyed all of it. And I haven't said that in a long time about AEW. I said it
let alone that type of match.
Let alone that type of match. I don't particularly like death matches. I liked it. I didn't particularly like the idea of that many women getting into a match all at once under that condition. I liked it. I didn't like the fact that there was 2 blood and guts matches mere 30 minutes from one another. By the way, within those 30 minutes, I think that was the official match time. No, they had less than that. There was a match in between. It was a Falls Count Anywhere match between Hangman Adam Page and Powerhouse Hobbs, which means which means between 2 Blood and Guts War Games matches was a Falls Count Anywhere match, which I didn't see, by the way, because I only
classic AEW, and that's the problem.
I sent him the 2 matches. I didn't send him the in between. We're not going to do that to ourselves. We were having a good time with what we were watching. But yeah. So that's my end to the whole thing. We have to make a decision. Are they wrestlers? Are they athletes? Or are they women? Because I'll see 2 women wrestle each other, and I still see audience members scream. I get it.
I think they're all 3. I think they're all 3, and I think people should.
I think most women's wrestlers will tell you that, yeah, we're proud to be all 3.
They're all 3, and they should be. And I think men should stay out of women's business and let them fight.
Yeah, just let them fight. Just let them fight. If they weren't up to the challenge or up to the billing, then what would happen would happen. Sometimes, if the women were to go out there and there was 12 women, and by the end of that match, 7 were severely injured, I think the women themselves, they'd be like, all right, let's pull back for a little bit, take a little break, let's heal up, let's go back to the drawing board a little bit, figure out what we're going to do. But they wanted to be tested. And in my opinion, they passed the test. All 12 came out. They had a 47-minute War Games match and came out okay. Not unscathed. A lot of them bled. A lot of them got cut up. A lot of them went through a lot of pain and suffering. But they did it for the business they love. And regardless of whether or not you've got a pussy or a dick, I will always respect if you love the wrestling business, baby. I'll always for 2 thumbs up for Orsini. If you're willing to put your body through all that bullshit for the goddamn business. For a reason, which they had. So I'm glad we got a chance to talk about that. We're also done here for the evening. And a quick reminder again, next week we are live. Survivor Series 2025. We're also going to be doing our Survivor Series draft for our 5 Survivor Series teams. We're going to pick 5, not picking 5 teams. We're picking 5 wrestlers to be on our Survivor Series team. We will be picking from the pool of current talent from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And we will also be doing both men's and women's. We'll be making those picks simultaneously. You'll pick 1 male, you'll pick 1 female, and then we'll move on in order. And I'll get into more description on how that works next week when we get there. So next week is Survivor Series. Also, next week is Thanksgiving. As I illustrated earlier, my brother and I, our families, are all getting together this weekend. And we are going to be celebrating this weekend and next weekend. Apparently, we're doing the get together this weekend, and then we're doing our own solo missions next week. So enjoy your Thanksgiving as we get closer to the season, or checking now Thanksgiving/Christmas, I guess, for some of you, as you'll be merging into the next transition. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for downloading. Thank you guys for sharing. And of course, thank you guys for enjoying episode 331. Survivor Series next week, boys and girls.
Mic drop. Wait a minute. This is too much. cooking it like a pro. Wrap it up, everybody. Show's over.